Yeah, what's cracking, baby?
Perfect.
Yeah. Meaning Stream 75, baby. Let's get it. We're celebrating the release of the new album, Akira the Don and Alan Watts, Web of Life Part 2. Oh. What a time to be alive. Smash that like, share that link. I gotta do the same thing, baby, while simultaneously making sure everything works. We just done a bunch of incremental upgrades to the system. You know how we do. Yeah. Hey, the gang's all here. What's going on, baby? What's cracking with you? How you doing? Hey, yeah. La, la, la. Ooh. Hey, wait a minute. Where's it doing that? Yeah. Somehow my voice has got an auto-tune on it, and I didn't put that there. Amazing. What a time to be alive. Free auto-tune on the voice. Hey, welcome everybody. It's a brave new world. It's a brave new day. It's new life for me. make that thing bigger. I like it. I like that thing. Look how pretty that thing is. We got some visuals today that are not going to get us yeeted, hopefully. I hope they don't. I mean, you never know. You never know in the modern world, like, what's going on. You never know if you're going to get, when you're going to get yeeted, really. That's, makes life more special, I guess. Makes life more special if you don't know when you're going to get yeeted. But hey, how you doing out there? Lauren Smith says, loving the fractals. Thank you, Lauren Smith. Generation 04 says, my vibes require regulation. Oh, okay, well, it's a good job. You come to the right place. John Pierce says, go.
Akira.
Let's go.
I solemnly swear I shall. Yeah, I shall. Damn, look, there's a lot of you. You've been in here for a while, huh? Yo, because we just launched the new album, man. The new album's out. It's finally here. It's finally here. It's finally here. I mean, look at that. I need to change that thing at the top, that scroll. What's that scroll? I need to change that scroll because that's, yeah, anyway. There was a thing going across the screen saying the album comes out on May 29th. Yeah, it is May 29th and it came out, god damn it. It came out, baby, it came out. Like Diana Ross, you know? And Chic. Roberto Sanchez says, here from the Web of Life 2 premiere. See, there you go. That's what happened. Andrew Komarami says, here we are, gang. Yeah, right. Scroll is in the house, says Vibe Regulators. Ho! I like that. Regulators! Ho! Yo. That's what it is. Global pitch correct is on 100%, and I don't know why it's even using it. Come here, let me pull you down. Damn. There you go. Pull down that tuning. I need to sound like T-Pain the whole time. I mean, not against sounding like T-Pain occasionally. I do like T-Pain, you know? But, you know the thing. You know the vibes. What up, Cindy Bailey? What up, Andrew? What up, YouTube hero Alex? What up, Dan Frank? What up, Milkman Dan? What up, Russ? What up, Johnny Wen? What up, D-Laz? What up, Luigi 0988? What up, Shannon? What up, Lauren? What up, Lapistan? What up, Cindy? What up, Kristen? What up, Kristen, Mike, Claire? Shouts out to Kristen, Mike, and Claire. The bastards are in the building. Gang. Na 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 na. Hey. Yeah, we're here to celebrate the new album. And we're going to play that album by Jove. We're going to play it and we're going to talk about it and we're going to listen to it. And if you got any questions and stuff, you can ask them, you know what I mean? And I will answer them. I will answer them with my face. You hear the way it's... Did you hear that, by the way? Rewind. Did you hear what the scratching was doing? Listen closely. Did you hear that? It said Wattswave. Yo, I forgot I did that. It was so deep when I was making this. I was doing all these little... You would never notice that. No one would ever notice that shit. But that's in there. What's wave? Epic. Yeah. Anyway, the first track is called The Secret. Goes a little something like this. I did it in sequence. I did the whole album sequentially. Track 1, track 2, track 3, just like that.
Akira.
He have. What's he got? Yeah.
In exploring the theme of the web of life, I have thus far discussed 2 principal topics. First, the web considered as selectivity, experience considered as what we pay attention to on the one hand and what we ignore on the other. And I showed how the way in which we pay attention to the world creates, isolates, that we call particular things, events, and persons, and they seem to be disconnected and to be alone because we ignore the connection between them. And I used the analogy of weaving where the threads go underneath and join on the back in a way that is not seen on the front. So you might say in the unconscious, although I don't particularly like that word because it makes it seem as if it was something rather dead. But on the unconscious side of life, as on the back of the weaving or the back of the embroidery, there are connections which are not published. There are connections which are not published. There are connections which are not published. There are connections which are not published.
Yo, shouts out to everybody on the replay.
Now, in the second part of the theme was the web as mutuality. When I discussed the way the existence of a web, the existence of cloth, or anything like that, depends on a mutual support of the warp and the woof. And this miraculous thing occurs that when the things support each other, being comes into being. Cloth comes into being. And so in exactly the same way, our world is a manifestation of relativity. And this requires a balance, combination, a relationship of opposites in every domain of life. And although these opposites are explicitly different and even antagonistic, they are implicitly one. Implicitly one. They are implicitly one.
And that's the secret.
There are connections which are not published. A relationship of opposites in every domain of life. There are connections which are not published. There are connections which are not published. A relationship of opposites in every domain of life. There are connections which are not published. They are implicitly one. And that's the secret. See, these two secrets that we went into. The connection between what are supposed to be separate things and events and the mutual unity between what are manifestly, that is to say, openly, for purposes of publication, opposites. Now, I'm going to take two other aspects of the web.
Yeah. Nah, baby. Ooh. Yeah, that's that first track. It's called The Secret. Set the tone, fit the whole thing. What I really like about that track is he sums up the entirety of the previous album in like one track. So it's like if you didn't hear the last album, the whole thing is still gonna make sense because he just sums it all up in that first thing, and it just works as a thing on its own. It's dope. You know what I mean? And that was very important. You know, if you're making a two-part double album type situation, you know, that's a big thing for people to be able to wrap their heads around. You know, and it's very important to me that this stuff works. You know, and it works on its own. You know, and works as part of the whole, all that. Part of the whole and all that. Shouts out to Really Locked In. Wave Nation is in the house. Strunky28 is in the house. Yo, Milkman Dan says amazingly insightful. Hey. Now, I mean, that's the thing is, right? On the previous two Wattswave albums, the first song has been like a big anthemic single. And that wasn't quite what we did on this one. Like, the big anthemic singles come in a little later. But the first one is like vibes. It's super vibes. And it sets up the whole thing. And yeah, like I said, it breaks down everything that came before. You know, this is the Web of Life Part 2. The interesting thing is, let me tell you something about this, right? I knew I was going to do this, but I didn't listen to it all before I did it. I did the first one, and I'd heard that whole lecture, and I didn't listen to Part 2 deliberately because I wanted to kind of score it as I heard it. I wanted to be able to immediately kind of get the music that it suggested as soon as I heard it. You know what I mean? So then when I heard it, it kind of shocked me because it fits so perfectly with what had just come before, and you'll see that. It's really mental. Hey. Yo. Donna 1804 says Akira always starting fires. Akira is Smokey the Bear's nemesis. Yo, people keep asking me who my nemesis is, and maybe it's Smokey the Bear. Maybe it's Smokey the Bear. What up, Quinn Kaysen says, hey, the premiere was dope. It definitely hit the vibes. Yeah, well, we're gonna get vibey now. We're gonna get vibey Yeah, we are. We got Mandelbots, you know what I mean? Mandelbrots. We got brots and bots. We got all of them things in the place, and we got the answers to any questions you may have. Yo, this track too is called From a Certain Point of View. Shouts out to the Korg Triton on the synthesizer pad there. That's a synthesizer pad of a Korg Triton. That's that joint the Neptunes used.
The web is a trap, like the spider's web is a trap for flies. Also, the lovely embroideries are worn by women as traps for men, from a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. And I want to consider the web as something playful. You see, there are so many ways of looking at it. And you will find that all these ways are right, but what we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. Of the view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. There are people, for example, who can see the web as a trap and get stuck with that. There are people to whom existence is simply hateful. They see it as nothing but a ghastly mistake. The Lord really erred when he created this world, because he arranged it in such a way that everything lives by eating something else. And what I'm doing is I'm describing a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. I'm not exactly philosophizing, I'm describing a point of view. You can look at life in such a way that the whole thing is this ghastly mistake. For example, there is no such thing as genuine kindness or love. Everybody is really pretending that they're loving other people in order to get some advantage from them. And indeed, there is a point of view which occurs in certain forms of paranoia where people don't seem to be real. They are mechanisms. And you can think that out quite intensely with a good deal of intelligence. After all, if you start from the good old Darwinian or Freudian basis and see that man is a material machine and that the consciousness of man is simply a very involved and complicated form of chemistry, well, then this awful mechanical things, these Frankenstein that everybody is, they come around and they say, well, I'm alive. I'm a human being. I have a heart. I love, I hate, I have problems. I feel. And you feel like saying, come off it. You're just a monster. And you put on the civilized act because really you're just a set of teeth on the end of a tube. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view.
Yeah. That's that. Yo, I mean, my goodness. Come on. Yeah. Na, na, na. Hey.
you've got a ganglion behind those teeth, which you call your brain or your alleged mind. And this thing is really basically there for two purposes. One, to be cunning enough to get something to eat, to put down the tube, and the other, you know what, Mr. Freud, libido. And everything else, you see, can be construed as an elaborate, subtle way of pretending that that's not really what you want to do. But you do, but you put on a great show. Now, some people, according to this view, get mixed up. They so repress that what they really want to do is to eat and to screw. They get involved in higher things that are the masks for these activities and think that that's the real purpose of life. And then they become what's called neurotic. Because they get involved in being pure camouflage. So that's what's called escaping from the facts. Not looking at life, not looking at reality correctly.
Yo, that's impression shit right there. Hey. From a certain point of view. Akira the Northern Island Watts. Track 2 on the new album. I got mad guitar solos all over this album. I went in on those vibes. Those very specific vibes that we was going for. Shouts out to everybody locked in. What up, Andrew C? In the place to be. Said, Benoit Mandel brought MEANINGWAVE. Winky face. Ooh. You know me, I don't like to talk about things like that. Kevin Groover says, have you ever thought of a MEANINGWAVE inspired by Uncle Iroh from Avatar The Last Airbender? We're watching that right now, me and Hercules and Mama Done, and we love it. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. It's wonderful, and I want to sample all of it, frankly. All of it is great. All of it is wonderful. All of it is beautiful. All of it is wisdom. All of it is facts. It's so good, by God. By goodness, by Jove. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if something occurred. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if something occurred. Gustavo Gomez says, this moment is the coolest simulation ever. Yeah. Who said that? David Howe said, your alleged mind. Ouch. Yeah, Alan Watts is like starting mad beefs all over this album. You will see. He starts mad beefs all over this album. He's like throwing mad shade all over the place. He gets quite specific in some places. He actually calls out a couple people later on. It's dope. But hey, so guess what, right? So I'm making this thing between March, April. You know, and I just did the Joseph Campbell album, right? And what's Joseph Campbell talking about in that album? He's talking about the roots of mythology, the function of mythology, right? The history of mythology, where it all came from. He talks very specifically about how, you know, when consciousness, when we finally grows eyes, grows them on animals and people, right? And when the eyes see, and they look out at the world, what they see is this monstrous thing of everything eating everything else, you know? And then your boy Watts picks up the baton and runs with it, right? It's crazy. And if you remember, the two albums that preceded this, right? Like in terms of making them in that, it was that Joseph Campbell one, Songs of Mythology, and then it was Meditations of Volume 1 with Marcus Aurelius, was it not? Right? But anyway, yeah, you know, what's cool about this is, and it's something I'm always trying to have occur with MEANINGWAVE, is each project builds upon the foundation of the previous, is the idea. You know what I mean? So it's like you kind of build on that and you understand where you are and, you know, you all that type of thing, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's the vibes, you know. And this one just perfectly does that. It picks up from where your boy Joseph Campbell was on that album. And well, I'll play you the next one, you'll see. Ow. Gangster arrangement. Crafty Craft says, Akira, if you consider doing some cameo vids. I've never considered that, actually. I've never thought about it. What, would you like me to make you a cameo vid? Crafty Craft. Yo, if you want a shout out for your mum, just hit me up on Instagram on the, you know, and I'll do a shout out for your mum. I will do that, you know? I will shout out your mum all day long. And your pops, all of them.
Now, this is a very strange thing, you see, that it is partly true that the universe, so far as its biological aspect is concerned, is this weird system that lives by everybody eating everybody else. Only what we do to maintain what is called order and civilization is that various species make agreement that they won't eat each other. They'll cooperate and so be an enormous gang which can beat down the others. So the human being is the most successful so far of this gangster arrangement. We are the most predatory monsters on Earth. And we have cooperated to assault the fish and the vegetables and the chickens and the cows and everything, you see? Only we do it by not letting our left hand know what our right hand doeth. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, unless gentlemen happen to be prone to going hunting as a sport, they don't see their food killed. They don't see the slaughterhouse. And so what you get in the butcher, in the market, is steak. Is a thing in its own right. It has nothing to do with a cow. Steak is a thing shaped thus and so, and it looks as if it might be like a banana or something like that, and nobody worries. And when a fish is served up, it does indeed look like a fish, but it's not the squiggly, squirmy fish that comes out on the end of the fisherman's line. When you really fish, you realize that the fish doesn't like it very much. Of this gangster arrangement. We are the most predatory monsters on Earth. So let me repeat. Of this gangster arrangement. Of this gangster arrangement. We are the most predatory monsters on Earth. So let me repeat. Of this gangster arrangement. There is that absolutely extraordinary side of things that is really terrifying. And so let me repeat the illustration I used of the cross in the net, where one side of it is that cut and eat, teeth that chew and get this thing in, and the opening side of it is like James Joyce's Ulysses, the girl who says yes, and I said yes. She wants to be absolutely ravaged by her man, see? So it's open. But now comes if we take the dark view of things, the horrible view. Excuse me if I go into some rather grisly details, but have you ever heard of a vagina dentata? That is the idea that in the sexual organ of the woman there are teeth. And a lot of men have this fantasy, and so are rendered impotent. They don't make love because they feel that the price of this blessed experience, this creative experience, loving experience, is you're going to get trapped. You're going to get emasculated. You're going to lose your precious member of this gangster arrangement. We are the most predatory monsters on Earth. So let me repeat of this gangster arrangement. Of this gangster arrangement. We are the most predatory monsters on Earth. So let me repeat of this gangster arrangement. This is a very ancient fantasy. It appears throughout all known history. Because this is simply the woman's come on, where she attracts, but she's out really to get you. She is basically a spider mother, you see, who is selfish and doesn't really love you. Not really, but says she does. And of course, there are on the other side all the tricks of the men, which go without mention.
Gangster arrangement. Watts is on fine form in this whole thing, as you can tell. He's hilarious. He would be like the greatest philosophical stand-up of all time. I mean, I guess he was. I don't know. I mean, he's a very, very funny man. Very, very charming man. Like the album is full of like noises I've taken from the audience, which is mostly girls, just reacting in various ways. They're either like, like, or they're very amused, or they're kind of like a bit shocked and terrified. And those sounds are incorporated all the way through the thing. By Jove, they are. We are, as you know, or you may not know, maybe you just came here for the first time. If you're here for the first time, somehow, welcome. It's lovely to have you here. We're putting this album out on vinyl. You can get it on, it's everywhere on digital now. You can stream it on Spotify. Before I came on here, I had a look on Spotify. I believe, how many people have streamed it already? Let me have a look. 51,665 people have streamed it on Spotify already. That's epic. And yeah, it's on Vinyl. It's coming out on Vinyl. Like so. Like this and like so. And we've got a stretch goal we're trying to get to. We've had a couple stretch goals along the way. And we've made it purple. We've got to the point where we can make it purple. We've got to the point where we can make it double gatefold, and we've got to the point where we can give it a lyric insert. A goddamn lyric insert, baby. Imagine that. So a lyric insert is occurring. The next stretch goal, we want to add a 7-inch single to the bundle. We want to add a 7-inch copy of Time. That very first Akira the Don and Alan Watts single, we want to put that as a 7-inch and add that to every order. So if you've already ordered it, you will get that, no extra cost. And if you order the whole thing today, you'll get that thrown in. So you get 2 albums and a that, if that's what you're ordering. The previous album, Wattswave, The Web of Life, this one here, that's been made available also, so you can have the set. Because as you can tell by this point now, having listened to it, they're twins, baby. They go together. You know what I mean? It's the dark side of the moon and the other side of the moon. All that. So yeah, let's see where we're at with this thing. We are 11,560. We're trying to get to 15. Hey, look at that. 11,935. We're nearly at 12. We've got 5 days to go on the campaign. We're closing out on Wednesday. Wednesday will be epic. I think I'm just going to stream all day. We have a morning show on Twitch. If you've not heard, we have a morning show on Twitch now, 7 a.m. PST. We've done it every day this week. I've never got up that early, that consistently in my life before. Never. And it's awesome. I love it. It's so cool, right? Because you do your morning show, and then it's like at 10:30 in the morning. You've already been up for like 4.5 hours. So like I had a little break, you know, and played Minecraft Dungeons with Hercules, my 7-year-old boy. He's so happy. He's so happy to play Minecraft Dungeons with his dada, you know. And I'm really happy to play it with him. Like normal Minecraft, I can't deal with. It's just annoying. All I do is dig holes, and it just annoys me. And I can't be bothered looking at inventories. There's too much stuff in those goddamn inventories. I can't deal with it. But this Minecraft Dungeons, I'm really enjoying. It's just like a dungeon thing. You know, you just run around killing things, like from above. It's, you know what I mean? It's like Zelda or whatever back in the day. I really like it. Anyway, this song is called No, it's not. I already played that. I'm not playing that one. Yeah, so here's the thing about this next one. What was I saying to you, right? The 2 previous albums, you had Joseph Campbell talking about eyes, seeing what was really going on in the world. And then your boy Watts picks up on that and elaborates on that concept. And then the other album before this was, Meditations, Volume 1. I put the words of Marcus Aurelius into epic pop rap songs, right? And you're like, the first thing you think of when you think of Alan Watts is not stoicism, is it? I mean, it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. But immediately, bear in mind, think about me making this record, just doing it sequentially, track by track, bit by bit. I'm kind of working it out as I go along. I'm discovering it as I go along.
Of the world.
You know, I've already committed to the bit, you know? And the whole thing's just unraveling itself to me, revealing itself to me. It's epic.
So this is a view of the world as a system of mutual exploitation and of maximal selfishness. Now, it's a very profitable view to explore. Everybody should do in their lifetime sometime 2 things. One is to consider death, to observe skulls and skeletons. Consider death, and to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up.
Never.
That is a very gloomy thing for contemplation, but it's like manure. Just as manure fertilizes the plants and so on. So the contemplation of death and the acceptance of death is very highly generative of creative life. You get wonderful things out of that. And the other thing to contemplate is to follow the possibility of the idea that you are totally selfish. That you don't have a good thing to be said for you at all. You are a complete, utter rascal. You are a complete, utter rascal. Now, the Christians have avoided this. Because although they say in their Episcopalian form of confession that we have erred and strayed from thy ways like lost sheep, and we have followed too much the devices and desires of our own hearts, too much, we have offended against thy holy laws. We have left undone those things we ought to have done, and done those things which we ought not to have done, and there is no health in us. But it ought to be different. And we're going to do our best to amend with the help of God's grace. That is a real con act. If you equate health with genuine love and perfect unselfishness, then in that sense there is no health in us when we look at ourselves from this point of view. Consider death.
Consider death.
To observe skulls and skeletons. Consider death.
Consider death.
And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up.
Never.
Consider death.
Consider death.
To observe skulls
And skeletons.
Consider death. And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up. Never, 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 never,
Now you just picture me. Imagine you're Akira the Don, and you're just making this bit by bit as it goes along. And this one just falls out the sky and hits you on the head like a piano.
You love yourself in terms of what is other. In terms of what is other. You love yourself in terms of what is other. In terms of what is other. Now, when you go deeply into the nature of selfishness, what do you discover? You say, I love myself, I seek my own advantage. Now, what is the self that I love? What do I want? And that becomes an increasingly ever-deepening puzzle. Now, I've often referred to this when you say to somebody else, I love you. It's always rather disconcerting to the person to whom you say that. If you imply that you love them with a pure, disinterested, and holy love, they automatically suspect it as being a little bit phony. But if you say, I love you so much I could eat you, that's an expression, as a way of saying to a person, you attract me so much that I can't help it. I'm absolutely bowled over by you. I'm gone. And people like that. Then they feel they're really being loved, that it's absolutely genuine. But now, I love you so much I could eat you. Now what the devil do I want? I certainly don't want to eat the girl in the sense of literally devouring her, because then she'd disappear. But I love myself. And what is me? In what way do I know me? Well, it suddenly occurs to me that I know me only in terms of you. See, when I think of anything that I know and that I like, then it's always something that can be viewed as other than me. I can never get to look at me, real me. It's always behind. It's always hidden. And I really don't know it well enough to know whether I love it or not. Maybe I don't. Maybe it's an appalling mess. But Certainly the things I do love and that I want from a selfish point of view, when I really think about them, they're all something else that's in a way outside me. You love yourself in terms of what is proper, in terms of what is proper. You love yourself in terms of what is proper, in terms of what is proper.
It was ridiculous. I was making that song, and the chorus literally just fell out the sky and hit me on the head like a cartoon piano. You ever get that? You ever get that feeling or like thing? I don't know. It was ridiculous. I laid out the album, and I made the album over the course of was it halfway through April to the first half of May, something like that. Like it was like 3 or 4 weeks, something. But I did most of it in one night. I basically just sat down with a lecture and kind of wrote the album, like wrote the music and the choruses and all that just in one night, and just sat there and just zoned in. I was just doing it bit. You know, I was almost doing it like a DJ set, and I was doing it very fast. And I was like, where's the chorus? And then he just says, you love yourself. And I was like, bah! The whole thing, it just smashed you on the head like a piano. It was crazy. This was very, it was very fluid, this record. And I was really making an attempt. I wanted to have the music be a little cleaner, a little more open, have more space, a bit more space for his vocal, a bit more space for melody to be sort of evoked from that, if that makes sense. But also, you know, there's a sound for your boy Watts. There's a sound that his voice evokes, you know? There's a sound and a feeling. And it is the full spectrum on this record. Because, like, you know, he a multi-dimensional cat. You know, right? He a multi-dimensional cat. Like, you know, he does the funny stuff. He does the philosophical, kind of like amusing stuff. But he goes into dark places, you know? And this album got a lot of dark places. When I first announced the album, a few people were confused by the artwork. And then I had a bunch of people hit me up today say, oh shit, now I've heard it. The artwork completely makes sense. You know, if you see that artwork, that's the artwork contains what is within the record, you know? And because it's what the record is about in a lot of ways is Jung's concept of the shadow. That's one, you know, it's about that duality. And the shadow is a big part of that duality, you know? And that's what this song is specifically called. This song is called The Shadow. What up, D-Lars? Says you are a multi-dimensional cat.
One of the very great things that C.G. Jung contributed to mankind's understanding was the concept of the shadow. That everybody has a shadow. And that the main task of the psychotherapist is to do what he called to integrate the evil. To, as it were, put the devil in us in its proper function. Because you see, it's always the devil, the unacknowledged one, the outcast, the scapegoat, the bastard, the bad guy. You see, the black sheep of the family. It's always from that point, what we could call the fly in the ointment. You see, that generation comes. In other words, in the same way as in the drama, to have the play, it's necessary to introduce a villain. It's necessary to introduce a certain element of trouble. So, in the whole scheme of life, there has to be the shadow. The shadow. The bastard, the bad guy, the black sheep of the family. The shadow. Integrate the evil. Integrate the evil. The shadow. The bastard, the bad guy, the black sheep of the family. The shadow. Everybody has a shadow, because without the shadow there can't be the substance. So this is why there is a very strange association between crime and all naughty things and holiness. You see, holiness is way beyond being good. Good people aren't necessarily holy people. A holy person is one who is whole, who has, as it were, reconciled his opposites. And so there's always something slightly scary about holy people. And other people react to them in very strange ways. They can't make up their minds whether they're saints or devils. So holy people have, throughout history, always created a great deal of trouble, along with their creative results. Take Jesus, for example. Trouble that Jesus created is absolutely incalculable. Think of the Crusades, the Inquisition, the heaven only knows what's gone on in the name of Jesus. Freud's a big troublemaker, as well as a great healer, you see. It all goes together. The shadow. The bastard, the bad guy, the black sheep of the family. The shadow. Integrate the evil. Integrate the evil. The shadow. The bastard, the bad guy, the black sheep of the family. The shadow. Everybody has a shadow, because without the shadow there comes the substance. Person is scary because he is like the earthquakes, or better still, he's like the ocean. See, the ocean on a lovely sunny day, you can say, oh, isn't that gorgeous, and you can go into it and relax and float around. But boy, when the storm comes, does that thing get mad? It's terrifying. So there is in us the ocean, you see. And Jung felt that the whole point was to bring the two together by a kind of fantastic honesty, to penetrate one's own motivations to the depths.
Shout out to Young. Back to Young.
You know? Bap, bap. That was the shadow. Alan Watts going in on the concept of the shadow. That's something that's been coming up a lot lately, you know? And it's interesting that's been coming up a lot lately. And again, it's also something that I have a larger project on coming up. And then your boy Alan Watts comes in with a primer. You know, this album couldn't be any more serendipitous and perfect in the context of the MEANINGWAVE sort of journey and sort of skill stacking aspect. Because I'll be applying the talent stacking principle to this whole thing. That Scott Adams has this thing he talks about, right, called talent stacking. So it's like stacking a bunch of different talents will make you way more useful. And you know, you'll have specific, if you combine a bunch of different things, you can get crazy superpowers, you know. Someone who's just good at fencing is going to be no good, you know, in a canoe. You know what I mean? So I kind of apply that principle to this. It's like, okay, add this guy and this person and that person and this mofo over here and those things, and you'll get all this like stack of this like wide range of ways of being able to navigate the world, look at the world, understand the world, all that kind of thing. Yeah, boy, Watts is one of them guys. Milkman Dan says a savage journey to the heart of the Jungian dream. Ooh, bars. Bars, exactly. Damn. That looks nice there. However, it is a different size. I'm experimenting with adding visual elements to the stream. And I'm trying VLC. But it seems like every video is like a different size and then it shows it a different size. But I do like the visual element. How are you all feeling about the new aspects? Mikhail Archangel, how you doing? Says, this jacket you're wearing looks awfully familiar. Like the exact same jacket you wore with a picture of you and your nan. It is true. I did wear this jacket with a picture of me and my nan. Shaz has my nan. My nan's over there. Well, my nan's ashes are right over there. They're just behind. Over there. And, you know, I love my nan. Shaz out to the ancestors all day. Hey. What else? Sativa Skunk says, I'm so happy to be here. The world is setting itself on fire and I'm chilling with the amazing Akira. Well, you know, it's not the world. It's not the world. It's a bit. It's a small bit. I mean, the world is very big. You know, and there's always an awful lot going on. There's many stories happening, you know, but we have the strange habit of just like going, okay, this is the one we're looking at right now, and then that becomes the whole world. And not just the thing, but the one aspect of it that we choose to look at. Again, that's partly what this album is about right here, you know? This is about that duality. You know, about that way that you can take exactly the same thing and perceive something completely different just depending upon your perspective. Again, I keep going back to this guy, and you'll find out why. But, like, this is something Scott Adams talks about a lot as well. He talks about the concept of two movies and one screen. Like we're all watching the same thing, yet we're like looking at the same screen, but we're seeing a different movie. Rupert Spira talks about this as well with regards to awareness and the sort of choose your own adventure nature of it. There's a lot of that going on right now, and you do have power. You do have power over how you choose to, you know, translate the data that you get from the web. The song is called Completely Honest. Completely Honest. And this is a good A being with your boy Jordan, you know? I've been asked to talk a thing. I'll get Akira the Don to talk because he says a thing. There's a thing happening next week, and I've been asked to talk at it. There'll be some other people that you really like there talking at it, and part of it's going to be about your boy JBP. And you know, he talks a lot about telling the truth and how important telling the truth is, right? How important it is to you get that logos, you know. But listen to what your boy Watts says about the truth. Hey.
You all had a tremendous humor. And he knew that nobody can be completely honest. You will try and have a great deal of success exploring your motivation and your dark, unconscious depths. That nobody can be completely honest. You will try and have a great deal of success, but there will be a certain point at which you will say, well, I've had enough of that. Do you see how, in a strange way, there's a certain sanity in that? When a person indulges in a certain kind of duplicity, of deception, there is something, you all laughed when I said that. There was something humorous about it. And this humor is a very funny thing. Basically, humor is an attitude of laughter about oneself. There is malicious humor, which is laughing at other people. But real deep humor is laughter at oneself. Now, why fundamentally do you laugh about yourself? What makes you laugh about yourself? Isn't it because you know that there is a big difference between what goes on the outside and what goes on the inside? That if I hint, you see, that your inside is the opposite of your outside, it makes people laugh. If I don't do it unkindly. If I get up in the attitude of a preacher and say, you're a bunch of miserable sinners and you ought to be different, nobody laughs. But if I say, well, after all, boys will be boys and girls will be girls, and we all know, then people laugh. Nobody can be completely honest. You will try and have a great deal of success exploring your motivation and your dark, unconscious depths, that nobody can be completely honest. You will try and have a great deal of success, but there will be a certain point at which you will say, well, I've had enough of that. Now, you see, what's happening when we do that?
Huh?
Now, I passed you around a lot of embroidery to look at before we started. And I'm perfectly sure that you got the point. That there's a big difference between the front and the back. In some forms of embroidery, the back is very different from the front because people take shortcuts. In the front, everything is orderly, and it is supposed to be kind of messy on the back side. See, which side will you wear? You've got to be sure you get the front in the front, have the back in the back. The back has all the little tricks in it, all the shortcuts, all the lowdown that people don't acknowledge. And it's exactly the same with the way we live. You know, like sweeping the dust under the carpet in a hurry just before the guests come. I mean, we do ever so many things. And if you don't do it, if you don't think you do it, and you think, well, really, my embroidery is the same on both sides, see? Well, you're deceiving yourself. Because what you're doing is you're taking the shortcuts in another dimension, which you're keeping out of consciousness. Everybody takes the shortcuts. Everybody plays tricks. Everybody has in himself an element of duplicity, of deception. Because you see, from this point of view that I'm discussing, where the web is the trap, to be is to deceive. Nobody can be completely honest. You will try and have a great deal of success exploring your motivation and your dark, unconscious depths, that nobody can be completely honest. You will try and have a great deal of success, but there will be a certain point at which you will say, well, I've had enough of that.
There it is. There's that laugh. Little thing. See the bass line just switched up there? Boom, boom. That was a mistake. I accidentally moved the bass. And I was like, ooh, that sounds sick. Yeah. I did a lot of reversing the drums on this album, which also hits in with the duality thing and all that.
Is to deceive.
I'd be layering drums going in one direction with drums going in the opposite direction at the same time. It creates a kind of beautiful disease. Yeah. Did a whole bit of scratching as well. Hey. Anyway, yeah, that's completely honest. What's nice about this, I've been really wanting to play the instrumentals on the streams, for the past goddamn month. You know, I've had them, and I haven't played them, so I didn't want to spoil the album, you know? I only played, was it 4 or 5 songs of the album ahead of time, because I didn't want to spoil it, you know? And, yeah, that was hard. So now I'm happy that I'm going to be able to put these in DJ sets, you know? Put these in some DJ sets, baby. It's going to be dope. Anyway, shouts out to everyone locked in. We're going to do the International High Five now. I mean, there's a whole bunch of questions that this album poses, and I might just keep asking you questions because I'm always interested in what you have to say. But what I would like to know is, you know, for the International High Five, we need to know where you are. And I want to know what was the last occasion where you had to be a bit dishonest, or you felt the inclination to not. What is it? So Jordan Peterson will say, tell the truth or at least don't lie. When was the last time you had to at least don't lie? Matthew says, did you make any deceptive instruments like the mouth guitar again? Yeah, all of it. It's full of it. Yeah, I mean, anytime you hear like a guitar solo on here or something, most of the time that's me going bow, 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 biddy, bow, bow, right? And either like then turning that into MIDI and turning that into an instrument or sending it to a guy and having him play it, you know, something like that. There's so much of that because the technology is just getting real good, man, in that regard. I was able to do some really cool shit on this. I think I said something just before this, some software kind of came out. Or I was made aware of some software. No, I was made aware of the potential of some software I was already using for chord generation and melody composition and things of that nature. Just before I made this album, and I was able to do stuff on this album that I've been wanting to do my whole life that I never felt would even be possible. I was able to act as if I was like 20 different people with 20 different very specific musical skills that they'd spent like a lifetime training. I was able to act in the manner of an orchestrator. I was able to act in the manner of an orchestra, a keyboard player, a guitarist, an incredible sort of like live, all kind of stuff. There's hardly any samples on this record. Like, it's like all, it has samples in it. You know, that, for example, is a drum break that's been chopped up and actually, no, I programmed that. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I mean, it's like stuff like that piano there. Like, I played that and then looped it and chopped it up and made it sound like it was really old and made it sound like an old sample. I can do stuff now that I've always wanted to. I suddenly hit a point, and it'll happen, right? You'll be working, you'll be trying to get good, and like, with me, it was like, it took 20 years to get to the point that I got to with this album where I was suddenly able to do things that I always wanted to do. On my own, you know, just do them. Like, in here, you know, just here, do this stuff. Thank you, Martin's Pasta 21, for the super chat. 75. What's that $8? Is that an Australian buck? Yeah, thank you. 75 or 75. Akira the Don, Alan Watts, Wattswave 4 launch, laughter and do things that are delightful to you. Duality is always secretly unity. Isn't it just? I want to put that on a goddamn t-shirt. That's the anthem, put your damn hands up. Duality is always secretly unity. Yeah. So yeah, you know, answers to that question. This album is full of crazy technological musical stuff that we just got invented, or I just worked out how to do. And then the next one goes even deeper, and the one after that goes even deeper. You know, shit's going real crazy right now. Something came out yesterday. Like, this thing Scalar 2 came out yesterday. Scalar 2, right? You can just put some audio in it and it will just like tell you what the chords are, like, immediately. Like, I've always wanted that, you know what I mean? Oh my goodness, the potential right now. So I'm really excited about the upcoming music. I've already recorded the next album, the next vocal album is already done, and I'm deep into the 2 after that. So somehow I managed to get back on schedule. I felt like a couple weeks behind when the quarantine thing hit. I initially wanted to get this album out like about 3 or 4 weeks ago, you know, but now we're putting back ahead, baby. That's what she said, baby. Ow. The album had this great, beautiful thing. I told you I was just doing it sequentially, track by track. It was kind of revealing itself to me, you know? You know, I said that thing, like, one thing you might want to do in life is, like, just get, like, real good at something and really get into the zone and then just, like God drive, you know what I mean? And it really felt like that writing this record. Like, all these melodies, all this, the whole thing, I did all the basic chords and stuff just in, like, 4 or 5 hours for the whole goddamn album. It was so dreamy.
Think of camouflage. The chameleon who changes its color. Think of the butterfly pretending it has eyes. Think of the flower saying to the bee, like my honey? Bee says, wow. But then that means that the bee has to be. It has to go on living, and all the trouble it takes to go around collecting honey and raising other bees and organizing itself and doing that dance which tells the other bees where there's more honey. There's all that stuff to do. The flower was deceptive. Life is a drama, and a drama is a deception, a big act. When you peel an onion and you don't really understand the nature of an onion, you might look for the pit in the center, like any ordinary fruit has. But the onion doesn't have a center. It's all skins. So when you get right down, there's nothing but a bunch of skins. You say, well, that was kind of disappointing. But of course, you have to understand that the skins are the part that you eat. Well, in rather the same way, see, you find when you explore yourself and your motivation, you go through and through and you try to find out that thing which really is genuine. That thing which really is genuine. Well, in rather the same way, you see, you find when you explore yourself and your motivation, you go through and through and you try to find out that thing which really is genuine. That thing which really is genuine.
Yeah, we got Robert Easley in Chicago, and today for work he had to not lie. Damn. WMIV and MD, hey, come back. Bring back my list of people. God damn it. WMD, WMIV and MD explaining things to my young kids. Yo, that's real. That's real. What kind of things? LZ, shot caller border, 20-inch rims on the Impala. Ooh. Milkman down in Melbourne says, fib to the kids that I'm busy trading crypto when I'm actually catching the MEANINGWAVE stream. What are you fibbing to your kids for? Are you telling me you catching the MEANINGWAVE stream? What? Yo, that's funny. That's very funny. Axel Stacks in Charleston says, last time I was dishonest was quitting a job and saying it was about the money. It was not. Interesting. I've been really getting into just straight up just like being real honest about everything. Interestingly. But yeah, you know, you start thinking anyway. We'll get into that in a minute. Mike Betters in Pittsburgh says, knocked over a mailbox with a UPS truck. Sounds like a country song. Knocked over the mailbox. Hey. Knocked over the mailbox with the UPS truck. Coulda drove off but was listening to JBP Wave. Hey. I went and knocked on the door and it all worked out. Knocked over a mailbox with the UPS truck and it all worked out, yeah. Damn, Mike Betters, that's bars right there. See, look, you just told the truth. And you didn't lie at all. There was no even at least, you know? Unless there's something about the story you're not telling us. Did you run over a squirrel? Cindy Bailey in Riverside just says yesterday. We ain't getting no details from Cindy Bailey. Vin Fuego says today the chainsaw needs a rest. Ooh, my goodness. What? Chef Ken in Arkansas says today, baby. Yeah, where's these don't just give me this. I wanted some details, goddammit. Yo. Gustavo Gomez in Riverside, CA said probably this morning. Small in Australia in Queensland said when the university came asking $10K in fees. Ooh. Martin Potter 21 says cheers. Prince Javrikas in Seattle says last week. Nearly told a lie last week, or kind of half told a lie last week. Yeah. Done at 1804 in Queens, New York City. Started a new job. Co-worker was a pathological liar and a tip stealer. But I had to get along with him because no one else knew me. In the end, I had a good rep and he got fired. Strategy.
Get after it.
Spagandi in Florida said, told myself, yo, god damn it, don't you dare scroll away from me while I'm reading. Don't you scroll me away from when I'm reading. Oh well, it's gone. Andrew Carrera in Scarborough said, I have to face a really difficult decision. I'm not sure which path to take. Yikes. Yikes. Well, we could probably help you with that. Becoming Sentient in Boston says, I tried for several minutes, can't remember last time. DS Duena says, B says, quite right too. Quite right too. I'll tell you one I had. Yo, I listen to this fucking. Oh. That was one of those. Bow now now. Bow now 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 now. That's literally what I did on that one. Bow now now now. Yo, and it came out so beautiful, right? Oh my gosh. Omga. Hey, Val Venus is in the house, of course. Of course. You could feel it in the force, right? Did you feel the disturbance in the force? The vibes just got like fat. Just got like epic. You know what I mean? Like a big tire. That's just what happened with the vibes. The vibes just got like a monster truck tire. Ooh. Yeah, yeah, so what did Val say? I never told a lie, I'm an angel. Yeah, I believe that. I'll tell you what, I had one. I spent a fortune on this goddamn software that I used to pirate. Right? I used to pirate it, but then I had this thing, any software I pirated, like, I had this thing that once I had enough, I could afford it if I was, once I had money, right, and it was making me money, I would buy it, you know? And I'd been pirating this software for years. It was so expensive, I could never afford it, you know? And then it got to the point where I just about could. So I was like, well, I use it, so I got to pay for it. That's my rule. That's the rule I set, you know what I mean? We grown-ups in here now. So I bought the software. And then the goddamn software stopped working, you know what I mean? And it was like, and I couldn't, and like, they updated it or something, it stopped working on my system, and they put out some new versions, and the new versions didn't do what the old ones did. And the old ones stopped working. And I'd paid for this bundle where you get everything, right? But the old ones came out before that bundle came out. And I was like talking to the guy, I was like, I need this shit to work, yo. I got this, you know, I was using some of it on the new visual. And he's like, yeah, I looked in your account and I don't have any record of you buying the thing previously. Do you have a copy of the thing from before? And I was like, I was about to just go straight up and tell him, just like, yo, I used to pirate this shit, now I don't. And I stopped just at the last minute, because I was like, I don't know if these people are vindictive and they might sue me or something. So I didn't tell him that I used to pirate it, and I just sidestepped the issue. And what I ended up doing was goddamn pirates re-pirating the software. I just ended it was like, I just like, so I'm paying for it now, but I pirated the shit, the aspect of it that is in the old version. You know, I still haven't made a full decision. Because, like, I can't be getting sued. You know what I mean? I'm an immigrant in a country that I'm not a resident of. I don't know. I can't be, like, putting myself in precarious situations. But, yeah, I said this the other day. I tweeted this. But, yo, there ain't no feeling like, you know, success. There's lots of different measures of success. You know what I mean? Everyone got a different measure of success. But for me, the day I was able to pay for the software that I'd been pirating for years, the day I was able to pay for that software with money made using that software, I felt successful, baby. I felt so successful. I felt so happy. I felt so good. Valvita says, steal everything, Akira, you deserve it. Vin Fuego says, I deleted all my dodgy software some time ago. Feels good. Jay Brooks says, this is by far your best work yet. Yo, that's what I like to hear, Jay Brooks. That's what I like to hear, Jay Brooks. Thank you. That's the goal. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. On every project, I'm trying to, in some way, shape, or form, improve on the previous in some shape or form. And it might be different because it's like, you know, different things, different aspects, whatever. Some people may not notice. And some people are just like, I like the thing you do where you get a lo-fi song and someone talks over it. I remember when the last Wattswave came out, and some people were like, I don't like this, you're singing on it. Just have him talking over lo-fi beats. And, you know, my favorite was Wattswave 1 or whatever, you know. And then by the time this one comes out, people are like, oh, my favorite is the previous one. And I was like, oh, here we go again. But happily, this one, so far, the reaction has mostly been people, in fact, uniformly, people seem to really love it. So that's nice. Val Venus says, I've never paid for a single thing in my life. Well, you pay with other things, you know what I mean? I mean, the value you bring to this community just with your presence, Val Venus, you know, that's a blessing. You know that. Damn. This song is called It's a Trap. You know how many times over the past month I've been wanting to drop this track because it's just appropriate every day. Every day this track is appropriate to something. You might want to just like save this as an audio clip and just post it under every tweet ever.
Now then the question arises, who's deceiving who? Who's fooling who?
Ooh.
I'm fooling me? What is fooling? Now then the question arises, who's deceiving who? Who's fooling who? I'm fooling me? What is fooling? Fooling is playing like you're there when you're not. You know, getting somebody else to answer your name in the roll call. So, we're all, you see, this is the metaphysical basis of it. This is what the Hindus mean by Maya, the world illusion. The world is playing it's there when it isn't. And it's a trap. And it sucks you in.
Yo.
And you can't get out of it. And it's a trap. And it sucks you in. And you can't get out of it.
It's a trap. Hey.
And it's a thorough big trap too. But always, when you get an idea like this or a feeling like this, follow it to its extreme. Don't back out from it. If you find you're selfish, go to the extreme of what selfishness means. Confusion largely results from not following feelings or ideas to their depth. You know, people think they want to be immortal. They'd like to live forever. Do you really want to do that? Think about it. Really go into it. What it would be like. People say they want this, that, and the other. They want this kind of car, they want this kind of dress, this much money, and so on. It's always a good idea to think it right through. What it would involve to be in that situation, to have those desires fulfilled. It's a trap. And it sucks you in. And you can't get out of it. It's a trap. And it sucks you in. And you can't get out of it. It's a trap. And it sucks you in. And you can't get out of it. It's a trap. And it sucks you in. And you can't get out of it. Also, when you form a relationship to another person, think it through too. You see? How inconvenient would they be? However attractive. Always turn the embroidery round and look at the underside, but don't get caught doing it. See, that's something one does on the side, in secret. Because otherwise you play the game that everything is as it's supposed to be on front. But that makes you humorous. And that makes you human. But that makes you humorous. And that makes you human.
Yeah.
But that makes you humorous. And that makes you human.
Yeah, it does. Valvina says my hips spend my money, not spend the money, not me. Damn straight. Greg the Alien made me almost piss myself. Greg the Alien said, shit got real when I told my 50-year-old aunt when talking about jailbroke Fire Stick. Yeah, I just got to a point where I can afford all my favorite movies and shows, so I just pay for it, yo. I don't know why jailbroke Fire Stick sounds so funny as a combination of words. It's beautiful. Yo. Becoming Sentient says, haven't really been able to spend enough time with 6 to properly place it in my rankings. Yo, this deep album is very compressed. There's a lot of stuff. It'll keep unfolding over time. You know, it's you know the way Radiohead albums used to be? Like, you listen to them shits and every time you get a new layer of whoa. It'd be like that. But hey, guess what? Here's the thing. What's excellent? Becoming Sentient says, oh, where'd he go? Haven't really been able to spend enough time with 6 to properly place in my rankings. Yeah, I said that. It wasn't that. Huamaya says, Wattswave 4 is my favorite, but 5 and 6 are amazing too. Valvina says, I shook my hips and the guy started crying and handed me the keys to the Civic. Ow! That's also an excellent rap song. Where was it? I can't find it now, but someone said that like the last one was their favorite for them, but they don't know because they haven't listened to this new one that much yet. But the point is, it doesn't matter anyway. I used to get like offended. I used to listen to that bass line. The bass on this track is crazy. I used to get really upset. And now it's like, no, you retard. Like, that someone has a favorite record that's one of yours is awesome. And like, you know, a record will hit you at a certain point of time and it's just like the record for you. And then a later point in time, it's a bit like Joseph Campbell talks about, myth lets you know where you are. So it's like, you know, when you're a 12-year-old boy or whatever, you're watching Star Wars, like it's about Luke Skywalker or whatever, you know? But then when you're 50 or something, you should be paying attention to Obi-Wan, and if you're not, it means that you are not mentally developed properly. You've not regulated those vibes properly. And it'd be like that with records. Certain records are the right record for you at that point. I'm just lucky. I'm just grateful to be here, baby. To be in the position to make records and for you guys to dig them. And it's just cool that every time I drop one, it's like it's gonna be someone's favorite. And it'll be the one that people like, you know, is their favorite when they're 70 or whatever. And each one is an opportunity to be that. It's pretty ill, the position I've put myself in, with the A releasing so much stuff and each thing being so unique and characterful and specific and a vibe and on a subject or whatever it is. Like, everyone has got the opportunity to be someone's favorite, you know, and to be really useful. And that's a blessing, baby, yeah, it is. But yo, this record called It's a Track. It's a Trap. It's a Trap. And it would have been really easy for me to just go make it a trap record, just a straight up trap record, but I didn't, because the vibes were actually dark and slinky in a way that required a proper bass line. Trap music don't really have bass lines, it has subs going really hard. It has 808 subs. You know I love that stuff, baby. But I've been really getting back into bass lines lately, like proper bass lines. Boom, 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 boom. The wiggling around ones, you know? Wiggly, wiggly bass lines, ooh. Yee. Jay Brooks says, best believe me, I'm going to be listening to this when I'm 70. You are not wrong. Small in Australia says, on Gangster Arrangement, I sometimes think about spending the energy we get from food, like you'd spend the $20 your grandma gives you for your birthday. Be grateful and spend it carefully. That's right. That's a very good point. You know, when your grandma give you that £5 note, you know what I mean? You really be thinking about where that goes and thing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Yo, anyway, Cindy Bailey says, I love wiggly bass lines. Hell yeah. Dander1804 says, most of my photos from my photography days belong to the public domain, and I like it like that. I wanted people to see the pictures more than I wanted to make money from them. Good for you. Good for you. Now, the two aren't mutually exclusive. You know? You can work out ways of doing both. God damn it. Now, anyway, this next song, ooh. This song is the center point of the album. This is the centerpiece of the album. When you have this on vinyl, this will be the end of side 2. Of side B, you know? It's going to be 2 pieces of vinyl. You flip one over, you flip another, you flip it, you know what I mean? So the second, like, this will be the end of side B. Ooh. And I've been wanting to make this record since like I was 16 or some shit. Like, I remember I saw Mogwai, this band from Scotland. They're like a math rock noise band. And I saw them live and it just blew my mind. And it had this aspect of a sound in it that I always wanted to combine with some other things I loved. Kind of like 70s sort of classic rock melodies and piano ballady type things and a whole bunch of different stuff. And over the years, these things have combined and I've had this vision for this sound and this song that I wanted to make. And I was finally able to make it this year, and that's this song. Like, I wasn't good enough until this point. I didn't have the skills or the ability. I had it in my mind and my heart and my soul. I had been carrying it with me for 2 decades. I was finally able to do it. And it was perfect. The words, when I heard him say the words, I had a full body all over shudder. Because the whole thing just came in this, and this was it.
We've discussed the web from 3 points of view. as an analogy of the selective operation of our senses and mind, whereby certain things in the world are picked out as significant according to certain game rules. The game that we are playing mostly is the survival game. That is to say, the game ought to go on. Only the way we play the survival game has a kind of element in it which makes it difficult, because we tend to say the first rule of this game is that it's serious. And that messes the whole thing up. So you have to watch out, in other words, when you play, for contradictory game rules, self-contradictory game rules. Because if you get mixed up into them, the game ceases to be worth the candle. You start straining at doing something, then it just isn't worth it. Then the second thing that we observed was the web as an analogy of mutual interdependence. We could call it the idea that all existence is relative, that all existence is transaction. The transaction being typically exemplified by, say, the operation of buying and selling, in which there can be no buying without somebody selling, and there can be no selling without somebody else buying. That kind of interdependence, of the inside going together with the outside. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Then we explored the web as a trap. The spider's web. Won't you come into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. And we saw what should look at all of life from the point of view that it is original selfishness and original hunger. And we found that if you take that point of view to its ultimate extreme, it dissolves. And it isn't so bad after all. Shakespeare says, it is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. When it's put that way, it doesn't seem so bad after all. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. I remember that I had a Zen master friend who wrote a letter to a friend of mine which was passed on to me. This friend of mine was aspiring to be a writer, and he was trying to write novels that would put across Buddhism to people. Sugar the pill. And my Zen master friend didn't approve of this at all. He said, don't write any story to people. Write it to the great sky. Because all the real masters of literature, especially novelists and storytellers, are great masters of nonsense. Think of Lewis Carroll. You can use Lewis Carroll, and he did use Alice in Wonderland, as a Zen textbook. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toes that gyre and gimble in the wave. That's Zen. I had a discussion with a great master in Japan. We were talking about the various people who are working to translate the Zen books into English. He said, that's a waste of time. If you really understand Zen, he said, you can use any book. You could use the Bible. You could use Alice in Wonderland. You could use the dictionary. Because, he said, the sound of the rain needs no translation. 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 Evening rain. It is the banana leaf that speaks of it first. You see, that's the point. And all the talk in the world doesn't get it unless you listen to the talk in a new way. The sound of the rain needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation.
Yeah. That's the sound of the rain. Needs no translation, which was a beautiful, beautiful record that was given to me by God. God damn it! That I wanted to make my whole life. I had the whole thing, and it all came together just perfectly. It was shocking. I was shocked, baby. I was shocked, and very, very magical record. Like right down to I always wanted it to be like which fits in with the theme of the album, a deceptive chorus. You think that's the chorus, and then the real chorus comes in at the end. And it's this big, epic, thunderous thing, and the actual nature of the song reveals itself, which is this big, thunderous, what that was, you know? And then breaks back down into its beautiful beginning, but with that melody of that second chorus type thing. I was super, super happy with that goddamn thing. Oh, my goodness. Yo, you should have seen me when I came up with that, I was crying and shit. Yo. Yo. Hey, what up, Mike Better says tremendous. I can't see the word tremendous without thinking of Joey Diaz saying it. I cannot. Yo, what up, everybody? What up, Lucid Music says nice. Gustavo Gomez says, what an intro, makes me appreciate the song more. That's why I wanted to do these things, you know? And that's why it's really cool we're doing this stream. When there's a new album, we can play the album and talk about it, you know? And if there's anything you want to know, you can ask. Because people be asking me all the time. I get DMs every day. Hundreds of DMs every day nowadays, and oftentimes they're asking me questions about records and stuff, and it's I don't really have time a lot of the time to really, really break it down in detail in a DM, you know, whereas we here now and we can chat, you know. So WMIV says it was worth the wait. Good, I'm glad. Zachary Brooks says your Wattswave and JBP Wave albums have been incredibly helpful in my life. Thank you so much, brother. Keep on keeping on. Hey, thank you. Joshua Tran says just finished the album, and damn, was that a trip. Excellent. It is a trip. Milkman Dance dropped a lot of excellent emojis, and so did everyone else, in fact. And DS Joanna said, this was righteous. DS Joanna says, ACD times 3 today. All the way up. Yeah, Brian Scott says, loving the whole thing. Chef Ken says, nice visuals. Yeah. I've been, I'm working on the visuals. Making it up as I go along, or working out as I go along. VLC crashed, by the way. VLC just crashed just during that thing. But shouts out to VLC. So I don't know if I can be using the VLC going forward. So I guess I'll investigate another way of doing it that's not going to crash. We got yeeted last night. YouTube kicked us off stream. So I've got to be careful. Andrew Komaremi said the Campbell album took me to a dark place for some reason. It's not a bad thing though. I wonder what this one will do. Huh. A lot of the time these things are mirrors, It's more a reflection of where you're at or what's in you a lot of the time. Because again, that's what your boy keeps talking about. That's what this whole album's about. You know what I mean? Perception. Selection is perception. Perception is selection. Perception is selection. Yeah. Huamai says, you should say the sound of rain needs no translation. Why? I said the sound of the rain needs no translation. Because that's what it is. Vinfuego says, hey, my name is Matthew. Well, you should write Matthew instead of Vinfuego. Hallelujah. John Casimol says, 75 nights you've been here. Thank you. I love this song. Hey, thank you. Chef Ken says, this song is awesome. Thank you. Vinfuego says, this is church, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yeah. Becoming Sentient says, wow, this is incredible. And Huemai says, we're all here, baby. Yes, we are. And isn't that a beautiful thing? We are here. We are here. And we're listening to the new album by Akira the Don and Alan Watts, which is called The Web of Life 2. And I'm just very glad that it's in the world. I haven't held onto a record this long ever since I was trying to play the record industry game. In the record industry game, you make a record, and then it doesn't come out for like a year while they do a bunch of weird shit behind the scenes, you know? And then I just invented my own model, my own wave, and you know, that basically involved me making a thing and releasing it as soon as it was finished, and then just immediately moving on to the next thing. This time was a little way between the two worlds, slightly, I guess, because, you know, we did a vinyl campaign, and, you know, we wanted to, because you've been asking me for vinyl, so I wanted you to have vinyl, and that meant a bit more planning, you know? You can't just drop a vinyl. Let's see how we're doing on the vinyl thing. Oh yeah, there's a Wattswave 6 collection at meaningwave.com. You can buy hoodies and t-shirts and all that type, and they're really nice, and they're made in Texas, you know, so you can get those if you want. And you can also buy the album there, actually. I'm now starting to do that for the albums up on the shop, you know. But anyway, let's check in on this guy. Let's see if we've moved anywhere. We were on 11,935, 198% of our flexible goal. Hey, we're on 199, 11,980. Yeah, we've moved. Yeah, that's excellent. Shouts out to you guys. Shouts out to everybody in the place to be. Yeah. Look at that nice, beautiful background we've just got up. I think it fits this song perfectly, doesn't it? DJ, let's listen to this song. It's called Patterns. Ooh. Happy birthday for yesterday, Strunky, 28. You beautiful creature, you. Gang.
So you see, there's something going on. This web may be looked at as pattern, and the world is basically patterning. What else do you do when you come to think of it? What else do you do when you come to think of it? When you eat, you are turning food into the pattern of your skeleton, your muscles, and your nervous system. That's a pattern. And you say, you see, basically, hooray for that pattern. That's a pattern. And you say, you see, basically, hooray for that pattern. But then you want other patterns. You like to look through a microscope and see the patterns that exist in the small world. And see the patterns. You like to look through a kaleidoscope or a teleidoscope and see the patterns. You like to have paintings around and see the patterns. You like to watch the water play and see the patterns. You want to watch the birds go, the clouds, and all that. Fascinating patterns. And that really doesn't it, seem to be the point? I mean, what do you do when you're very rich? Take some rascal of ancient times who became very rich by all sorts of skullduggery and warfare and so on. He got himself a suit of armor, a beautiful sword. And he had the armorer make the most intricate patterns, arabesques of inlaid gold on the steel. Why? Because it's, as they say among the Pennsylvania Dutch, it's for nice. It's a great thing to have all that jazz. And that's what we go for. That's a pattern. And you say, you see, basically, hooray for that pattern. That's a pattern. And you say, you see, basically, hooray for that pattern. But then you want other patterns. You like to look through a microscope and see the patterns that exist in the small world. And see the patterns. You like to look through a kaleidoscope or a teleidoscope and see the patterns. You like to have paintings around and see the patterns. You like to watch the water play and see the patterns. You want to watch the birds go and the clouds and all that. Fascinating patterns. Perfect.
Fascinating patterns, and that was a fascinating experience of trying to get VLC to not crash. VLC crashes. Damn. Oh well. Isn't that Jordan Hall's software? Or was that something else? What was it Jordan Hall made his money on? He developed one of those softwares from around that period of time. I'll have to find out. I'll have to ask him. Anyway, yeah, that was patterns. Smash that like. All that business. You know. Mike Bessers. Hello, Mike Bessers. Hello, Cindy Bailey. Hello, Greg the Alien. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Maria. Hello, all of you guys. Hello, Matthew. It's so lovely to see you all here. I've got another question for you. And, well, I'm not going to ask it. Your boy Alan is going to ask it, right? And I want you to answer while you're listening to the song. And you'll know the vibes.
What do people do most of the time? What would they like to do, really? What's your idea of heaven? What's your idea of heaven? What do people do most of the time? What would they like to do, really? What's your idea of heaven? What's your idea of heaven? When people are unoccupied, as far as I can make out, they get together and they sing and dance. Or else watch somebody else do it. Nowadays we live in a non-participative culture and we don't do very much singing and dancing. We are lugubrious. But we watch other people do it on television. What we really are interested in is to be able to spend all the time going who'd about it, 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 you know, some methods. And that's what our heart's doing, that's what our lungs are doing, it's what our eyeballs are doing, and it's what all these fantastic capillaries of the veins are doing. They're going just judy boo hubba bubba you see? And that's the point. Now the thing is, ought this to be allowed? You know, dare we admit it? What do people do most of the time? What would they like to do, really? What's your idea of heaven? What's your idea of heaven? What do people do most of the time? What would they like to do, really? What's your idea of heaven? What's your idea of heaven? Because we've been brought up, you see, in a cultural context in which the universe is presided over by somebody serious. It's only very, very occasional obscure references in the Jewish and Christian scriptures to the idea that God dances. Of course, in Hindus, they know Shiva dances, and all the gods dance. They're represented in the dance. But in our way of looking at things, no. Back, deep down in, there is something that you must respect. You mustn't laugh in church, especially if you got in front of the throne of heaven. Everybody would be dead silent. Wow, you see, I mean, that's really serious. Here is the Father Almighty, world without end.
Oh!
And you watch out. Don't you laugh. Why not? Because Father Almighty, world without end is a very insecure fellow.
Back.
If anybody laughed, he might feel uneasy, you know. Something wrong going on. That someone challenged his power.
What do people do? Most of the time, what they like to do, really. What's your idea of heaven? What's your idea of heaven? What do people do? Most of the time, and what do they like to do, really? What's your idea of heaven? What's your idea of heaven? Yeah. Hey.
He is a funny fellow, you see, as we've mythologized ultimate reality in the form of this cosmic grandpapa, who is also a king and is demanding above all things reverence and respect.
You know, that's another one. That's another one. It's similar to the sound of the rain in that that's a sound, a specific kind of vibe I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I didn't have the skill to do it previously, and I was able to do it on this one. A whole bunch of stuff just came alive. Ooh, come alive. You know, came alive on this one. That was just dope. Yeah. Matthew says, seeing your album campaign grow from a community poll to 3D has been awesome. Yeah, it did, didn't it? Shabba. Yeah. Val Venus says, put that Val Venus gif on the screen. I ain't got one. Send me that Val Venus gif. And I will. God damn it. I will. Greg the Alien says, sometimes I fill my half-full double iPads with water so I can have 2 beers instead of 1. Heaven. That's a good answer to the question, what's your idea of heaven? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Val Venus says, trying to make a baby who's down. Greg the Alien says, my heaven is now. Small in Australia says, this song is my favorite of the album. Mikhail Archangel says, my idea of heaven is peace, happiness, and a good state of mind. Yeah, baby. Good state of mind. Good state of mind is important. And it is indeed heavenly. Koimai says, the visuals go so well with this song. Didn't they just? Like, just before this stream, I basically just pulled a load of clips of loop videos off of my other computer and pulled them over here, and I've just been sort of dropping them into VLC player, like, ooh, that one would look cool with this or whatever. And yeah, they really did. I've got to work out a smoother way of doing this, but if I could basically essentially DJ visuals in the same manner I do music, that would be pretty epic. You know, I can think of the right song for a moment. If I could also pull in a right visual for the moment at the same time, that would be really cool. So, you know, we're going to see this side of the streams develop. Shout out to Twitch. I started doing it on Twitch, and it works really well over there. I bought it over here and immediately got yeeted. So you got to change what stuff I was using. Don't use Sonic cartoons on YouTube. If you're thinking of having a YouTube channel, don't try DJing with Sonic cartoons. You'll get yeeted. Yo. Milkman Dan said, I dream of the ultimate club. All my favorite DJs playing just for me. Oh, wait. Here it is in my pocket. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. DS Duena says, first people pander, second they want to express themselves, and third heaven is right now, baby. Skirt. Greg the Alien says, booba dooba geep bo. Cindy Bailey says, seeing my family happy and healthy and music in my life daily. I think that's heavenly. You're correct, Cindy Bailey. Matthew says, spreading and witnessing joy is my idea of heaven. Lucid Music says, my idea of heaven is inner peace. Prince Jabrikas says, standing beside a woman who is one with me in spiritual union is my idea of heaven. Oh! Sapappas says, get the Indiegogo to 15k, people. Yeah, do it. You should. You should. Sapappas says, I really want that single. Yeah, it's going to be a group effort, baby, but I think we can do it. Yeah. Milkman Dan says, wicked visuals. Derna 1804 says, trying to get to heaven is like trying to have dessert before you've eaten your dinner. Ow! Bass. Bass. Small in Australia says, heaven is regulating in the meaning stream with all of you. I think you're very smart. I think you're very smart, Small in Australia. Yeah. Come out. Yeah, well, that's epic. I don't think I've even listened to this as an instrumental, like, since it got finished. It's so good. Shouts out to the Hold Down crew. Hey. Speaking of the Hold Down crew, this next song was made on stream. This was on Meaning Stream number 3. We made this song live on stream. Were you there?
So it's difficult for us, because of that cultural heritage, to accept, to accommodate our common sense to the idea that the web might basically be playful. That it might be like somebody saying, won't you come and play with me? Child. And the other child has some little hesitation. I don't know whether I ought to play with you. You come from the wrong side of the track. I don't feel like playing today. I feel serious. I don't think play is important. We ought to do something real, like wash the dishes for mother, who, incidentally, has forgotten that the whole point of washing the dishes is playful.
Hey.
Arranging the patterns of life.
It's playful. Hey. Arranging the patterns of life.
So nice. Playful. Arranging the patterns of life. Playful. Arranging the patterns of life. So nice. Playful. You don't wash the dishes for a serious reason. You like the table to look nice, you know. You don't want to serve up the dishes for dinner with all the leavings of breakfast still lying on them. So why do you want the table to look nice? Well, again, it's for nice. You like the pattern on it that way. People get terribly compulsive about doing these things. And they think that going on, arranging the patterns of life is something that's a duty. That means a debt, that you owe it to yourself or to your family or to someone or other. You're in debt. See, that's the trouble. When a child comes into the world, the parents play an awful game on it. Instead of being honest, they say, we've made such great sacrifices for you. Here we are, we've supported you, we've paid for your education, and you're an ungrateful little bastard. And the child feels terribly guilty because what we do is we build into every human being the idea that existence is guilt. It's playful. Arranging the patterns of life. It's playful.
Arranging the patterns of life.
But nice. It's playful. Arranging the patterns of life. It's playful. Arranging the patterns of life. But nice. The existentialists make a big thing of this. And you watch out for them, because they're hoaxers.
Yeah, they
and
are.
they say that guilt is ontological. If you're not feeling guilty, you're not human. That was because Papa and Mama said, look at all the trouble you've caused us. You shouldn't dare to exist. You have no rights, but maybe we'll give you some out of the generosity of our hearts so that you'll be permanently indebted to us. And so everybody goes around with that sort of thing in their background unless they had different kinds of papas and mamas who didn't play that trick. And if they don't do it, somebody else does it. Auntie comes around and says, you don't realize what your father and mother have done for you. You think, you can just stay around here and goof off, but they've sweated blood to give you your clothes and food and so on, and you ought to be grateful for it. But that's not the way to make people grateful. They won't be grateful that way. They'll imitate gratefulness. They'll go and put on a big show and say, oh, thank you so much. I feel so indebted to you, and so on and so forth, and they'll make it look good. But isn't real. But isn't real. Because, actually, one's father and mother had a great deal of fun bringing you into being, or we hope they did. And they wanted to do that the worst way. They have no reason to complain about all these things and try and make the children feel guilty. It's playful. Arranging the patterns of life. It's playful.
Arranging the patterns of life.
But nice. It's playful. Arranging the patterns of life. It's playful. Arranging the patterns of life. But nice.
Arranging the patterns of life. Yeah. Arranging the patterns of life. Arranging the patterns of life. Arranging the patterns of life. Yeah, that's Playful from the brand new album Akira the Don and Alan Watts, Wattswave 6, The Web of Life Part 2. That was made live on stream. It features contributions from the mighty MEANINGWAVE community. Some of you all sent in sounds of dishwashing, washing dishes that are in that track. We got the sound of a brand new born meaning baby, newborn meaning baby, giggling on that chorus. You hear those little beautiful little pearls of laughter, like hee hee, that were perfectly in rhythm with and in time with the song. Shouts out to VLC that keeps crashing. Gee whiz, VLC. What a buggy piece of crap you are. You are not going to be a long-term solution. Hell, you are not going to be a long-term solution. Vluk, you cannot regulate the vibes accordingly. Yo, don't you get your butt out of here. Disrupting my vibe. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I'd never made a song on stream. Before. People do it on the internet all the time, you know. There's certain people, I watch them, you know, and they have YouTube channels and they make beats. That's what they do. And there's some great ones. There's some great ones of those. But I'd never done it, you know, and I did it because I said when we reached 100 patrons, I would make a song on stream. So the third meaning stream was that, making a song on stream, and it was that. It was that song, and that song came out great. Didn't exist at the beginning of the stream, existed at the end, and I love that song. So shouts out to everyone who was involved in that, everyone who was there for that, everyone who contributed energy, let alone actual, you know, samples of their children. It's very amazing. So yeah, the bass is great on this one too. Oh yeah, stuff's been going on in the chat during that song. Vim Fuego said, Vim Fuego says, I'm not the same person I was at the beginning of this stream. Seriously. Quite the statement. He says, the Vim Fuego retires today. He served a purpose, but no longer a suitable vessel. That's very serious. That's a very serious statement. Well, we stand with you, Vim Fuego. Whatever you come back as. Shout out to Hercules there. Hercules dropped some sounds. That happened on the stream. He was watching. Him and Mamadan were watching stream, and I was in the studio when I had a studio in downtown Los Angeles before we got yeeted because of, you know, the Tom Hanks disease. That was a big news story in the long, long ago of the other day. Jesus. What up, DS Duenas? Thank you for the $2.99. Says my hero. Hey, you, Captain Skirt. What up, SNES and Menial? Says, couldn't be here from the start. I wanted to listen to the whole party tomorrow. Wanted to thank you so much for more Wattswave. Thank you for being here and for supporting. Your support means a huge lot, and it makes a huge difference in the lives of the regulating Don family. You know, it really does. You know, I lost all my DJ gigs and things of that nature, and, you know, so all this stuff really helps. So God bless you guys. Ooh, and this next song is one of my favorites, but I think they're all my favorites because they're all so good. I'm realizing now playing them. It's not that one. That's the Alan Parsons Project. I hope the stream doesn't get yeeted for playing that tiny section of that. I was looking in the wrong thing. Games, people. This one is called, yeah, Games People Are Playing. And it's another one of those ones that maybe you should just clip it, you know, and just post it as a response to people's tweets, because again, it's very relevant. What up, Greg? What up, Vim Fuego?
Amazing thing.
Says by 5. Vim Fuego is going. Vim Fuego, I can't see. Wait to see what you come back as. Thank you, Greg the Alien, for the super chat. Says vibes. It's very good to see you here, my guy.
Amazing thing.
Now this I would call Baroque trap. I invented a new genre, I think.
It is an amazing thing in our culture. Everybody is afflicted with ontological guilt. For example, if a policeman comes to the door, everybody is instantly frightened. You wonder, what on earth have I done? And there are certain clergy who are absolute experts in making you feel guilty. They are really marvelous. And there are clergy of all kinds, for all classes, and for all levels of intelligence. And they can make you feel real guilty. Only you have to watch always what games people are playing. You have to watch always what games people are playing. You have to watch always what games people are playing. You have to watch always what games people are playing. Now you see, the thing is that really is a puzzle. They don't admit they're playing games. And when a person is playing games and doesn't admit that they're playing games, then you have some kind of a trickster who isn't really being fair to you. Now, of course, the game, that this game is not a game, has a certain kind of a fascinating quality to it. How mixed up can we all get? Let's try. How mixed up can we all get? Let's try. See? There's a certain possibility in that. I would like to go insane and be as insane as anybody has ever been and be the farthest out crazy nut in the world. See, that's a game. But it's not a good game. It's a game being played by a person who didn't really understand that everyday life was a game too.
Perfect.
And I think the most important thing is to admit this. Only you have to watch always what games people are playing. You have to watch always what games people are playing. You have to watch always what games people are playing. You have to watch always what games people are playing.
You have to always watch. You have to watch always what games people are playing. You know that. That's real. Smash that like. You know the vibes. We're listening to that new album, Akira the Don and Alan Watts, Wattswave 2, The Web of Life, Wattswave 6, The Web of Life Part 2. This is like the last part of the album, the last quarter. This is side D. And you'll notice side D has it, like each section has a feeling, you know? Like we turn up the vibes. Hey. The next bit, and then we have this little duo. These two songs are like twins, right? The first one's called That's What It's About. That's a definitive statement. That's what it's about. Okay, what's it about? This song is crazy. Alan Watts sings the hook on this one. He literally sings the hook. I gotta rewind a sec and just tell you, because this blew my mind. Remember the way I told you I was making this album, right? I just had the lecture, and I was kind of scoring it as I went along. I'd go, okay, here's this bit, here's what are the chords for this, okay, next bit, what are the chords for that, next bit, and not just chords, what's the BPM, and also what's the chorus for each one. Did it all in one sitting, 4 or 5 hours, right? Then I get to this part of the album, and you'll listen to it, and it's crazy because he starts singing, and I've been working in key, and that means that each song is harmonically compatible with the other ones, and it moves, so it goes, okay, one key, then it goes to a key that's harmonically compatible, then another one, then another one. So we get to this point in the album, the odds of Alan Watts sings, and he sings perfectly in key and in time with the song. The odds of that, I don't know what they are, but they're ridiculous. It doesn't make sense that that would even be the case. That he would sing perfectly in key and perfectly in time with where we were, like, musically. But he does. It fucking blew my mind.
It's done. It's good.
Hey, thank you, Pixie.
All really humane people admit that they're rascals. That's, you see, on the side of the not respectable, the selfish. But so also, all humane people should admit that they're jokers, that they're playing games and playing tricks. That I am doing it on you. I am most ready to admit this. I hoaxed you all into coming here to tell you what? It was a trap, you see, but I'm going to make it an entertaining trap so that you won't feel so badly about it. Now, this is philosophy, but I think philosophy is like music. You go to a concert and you listen to somebody play Bach or Mozart or Beethoven.
Akira.
And what's all that about? And what's all that about? You know, it isn't about anything except that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And so, in the same way, as I conceive my work as a philosopher, I'm simply pointing out that existence is the same kind of a thing as the Bach invention. It's going this way and that way, and hills and waters going all out there, and the fish are going around in it, and breeding, and the ducks are... And that's the same thing as dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Oh, shit!
So, if you can admit that...
Yo, come on. Yeah, that was for you guys.
I'm simply pointing out.
But what am I saying, though? So much serendipity in this song. Like, he said that. He said those words. I just replaced... He said that. That's what he said. I just put the sample in there to accentuate what he said.
Existence is the same kind of a thing as the Bach invention. It's going this way and that way, and hills and waters going all out there, and the fish are going around in it, and breeding, and the ducks are... And that's the same thing as dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Hey!
See? So, if you can admit that that's what it's all about, you have a little problem. Because there's not only the threat that it really might be serious and that you shouldn't be laughing about it, but there's also a kind of opposite. Then are you saying it's merely just fiddling around? See? I mean, you're saying it's only a game? Is that all there is to it? Well, now, what do you think? You see, this again is a question that everybody has to think things through. What did you want? Didn't you want a game? Did you want it to be serious in the end? I mean, think about the question. What kind of a thing would you like God to be? What would you like to do for eternity? Really?
Yeah.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Oh, holy shit. Come on. What a time to be alive. It's just mind-blowing. And a lovely song, as I'm sure you will agree. And, if you're listening to this and you don't quite understand what all that falafel about ducks was about, it's because I have a song on Goldtron called All the Ducks Are Swimming in the Water. It has a sample in it from Lemon Jelly's Nice Weather for Ducks, which was in turn a sample from something else, the name of which escapes me. However, it became a favorite in the early days of the Meaning stream, and people would request it, and we'd play it a lot, All the ducks are swimming in the water, we'd play it a lot. And then I'm making that song, and then he says that. just bushka. So obviously I put in that sample and it fitted perfectly. Nice little Easter egg. I always put in a lot of Easter eggs and people don't always spot them, and some people do. You know, if you're a hardcore Meaningwave fan, you know what I mean, if you pay attention, there'll be little Easter eggs for you, little snippets of references to other albums or whatever it is. I always put that in there. You know, it's world building, baby. We're building a damn world. Yeah, shouts out to you guys. Brian Scott says, I tried paying for my triangle and it hasn't let me join yet. What do you mean it hasn't let you join yet? What, YouTube won't let you join? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Yeah, we've got a lot of triangles in the building, you know. We've got a lot of gold triangles. That's people who've been here from the very beginning of membership at the channel, which is 3 months. 3 months we've had this. And, yeah. Which is how long the stream's been going, I guess. What is it, 75? What's 75 days? That's not 3 months. It's like 2.5 or something. Anyway. Yeah. Mike Better says, this just makes me smile. Yeah, me too. It's also another case of me wanting, like, doing something I always wanted to do sonically, which was a kind of fusion of the kind of hip-hop I like and sort of like late 60s folk vibes. You know, just back when they first started dropping acid and all that type of thing. It was also a juxtaposition, though, because I kind of sacrificed what could have been the single. It could have been the single. It could have been a big smash pop song. But then I had half of it do this. But that's because I wanted the juxtaposition of when it really comes in on that chorus. I wanted it to be like so joyful and whoopee. So it was a sacrifice. It's funny things to do with the song, sacrifice it. But I did. Milkman Dan says, Wattswave 7 in the making. Is that a statement or a question? I already know what Wattswave 7 is. So don't worry about that. And it's going to be epic. It's like a whole new thing, a whole new level, something very, very pertinent, prescient. Anyway, that was that song's called That's What It's All About. And then the next song is called I Don't Know What It's About. You know, and they're next to each other. And that's beautiful. Andrew WK had something like that on one of his albums. He had a song called something like That's What It's About, and the next one was I Don't Know. Something like that. And I told you, it's another one! I wanted to do a G-Funk song, so I did.
Akira.
I said I was going to do a G-Funk song too, and I did.
Here is
Oh yeah, we had that little sample there from your boy in Australia, nice one.
Akira. It's dawn. It's good. It's good.
Here is Jan van Eyck paints the eschatological picture of the Last Judgment. What a strange man he must have been. And here is heaven above and hell below. And in heaven, here's God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost, all there together, and the Virgin Mary, and the apostles, and they're all sitting in committee. And they have an aisle, you know, just like in church, and there they are facing each other, and they're all sitting there very solemnly. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it's about. But below, right at the end of the aisle, you see, where all these apostles are sitting, is St. Michael. A rather gorgeous figure in beautiful armor with wings. And underneath him is a bat-winged skull. And beneath those bat wings, all horror is let loose. Michael is about to slush that skull through with his sword. But below, there are nude bodies, some of them pretty comely. They're all squirming in there, and they're being eaten by worms. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it's about. of a mush. It's like the sort of situation you find when you turn up a big rock. There's all that going on underneath. Now, there's no question whatever that Van Eyck, the painter, had more fun painting that part of the picture than he did painting the top part. So in the same way with Hieronymus Bosch and with Bruegel, they painted every kind of weird, surrealistic deviltry going on. And they really loved it. But they couldn't admit it. I don't know what it's about.
Yeah, I don't know what it's about. You know, that was sick. How you feel about that one? I really love that one. That's like a beat I've been wanting to make forever too, baby. Like, my favorite music when I was 11 years old was Guns N' Roses and Ice Cube, you know? Regulate G-Funk Era was one of my favorite records the year after. You know, like, I really loved Bop Gun, One Nation Under a Groove, the Ice Cube remix of the George Clinton record. I always loved this kind of music. I always wanted to make it, and I've been living out in California for like 5 years now. So it just felt appropriate to regulate the vibes in that fashion. It ended up not being the first time Watts met the West Coast though, because I did a live bootleg. Maybe, I don't know which came first, but I did a live bootleg of a song from the last album and a Dr. Dre instrumental, which some of you know. So it's like, they sound good together, Watts and the West Coast. Brian Scott says, love the sound, man, feels like LA. Yeah. Yeah. Brian Scott, welcome to the wave, welcome to level 1. Hey, you made it happen. Brian Scott made it happen, what a guy. Shouts out to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Come on. Breeze Namar says, I love Zen Buddhism and Taoism. They're closely related to Hinduism. Greg the Alien says, regulator! Yeah, come on. Rhythm is the bass and the bass is the treble. Yeah, it is. Alright. And what's also sick about that is he's talking about Hieronymus Bosch on there, and I loved Hieronymus Bosch when I was a kid, around the same age. That was like my favorite art. When they made me do art in school, I like comics, you know, and they said comics wasn't real art. Pick a real artist. I picked Hieronymus Bosch. Get off the mic, you too posh. Loved Hieronymus Bosch, and then what's be talking about Hieronymus Bosch earlier on when he was talking about the shadow, you know, that shit. Here's the thing, I started in the shadow, in a way. I was the black sheep in my family. They used to call me that, you know. I was the bad kid, you know. I got in trouble and stuff. I ran away from home early, all that. I did all that shadow stuff early. And it wasn't because I was bad, but like, I got treated that way, and if that makes any sense. I don't know, I mean, I did some bad things, I guess. But you know, that darkness, I was like, I remember, you know, around that age, I loved Hieronymus Bosch, I loved H.R. Giga, I loved gangster rap, I loved heavy metal music. I was 11 years old wearing a black leather jacket with tassels on it, right? Listening to gangster rap, like drawing comics and people getting stabbed and shit, and then with Hieronymus Bosch on my wall and like Venom comics. Venom is like a literal representation of the integration of the shadow, you know what I mean? Like Venom is Spider-Man, nice good guy, and he gets this like black alien thing and it attaches to him and brings out his darkness and all his like dark impulses and all that, you know what I mean? Another way of looking at Venom is it's melanin, which is an interesting thing. Same with the black goo and Prometheus, you know? Oh! Anyway, that song's called I Don't Know What It's About, you know? And it's just a good time G-Funk tune. And we're right at the end of the album now. It's like 3 songs left, I think. And then comes this little guy, this beautiful, sweet thing. Starts slightly ominously and then blossoms. Matthew says maximum carnage. Exactly. Chef Ken says, could look at that Bosch painting for a long time. Hell yeah. Martin Potter says Bosch has some amazingly interesting paintings. He does. There's a lot of detail in there, a lot going on. A lot going on in those paintings. Yeah.
Now, the only time when the holy people had a ball was when, for example, the Islamic artists made arabesques and the Celtic artists made fantastically intricate lattices to decorate the margins of their gospels and missals. They are unbelievably beautiful, or take stained glass or something like that. But what are they doing? What's it all about? What are they doing? What's it all about?
Fake out.
What will you do in heaven? What will you do in heaven? See, it's like the musician. He likes to take a melody, and he likes to put another melody that fits in with it, and another one that fits in with both, and then a fourth one, and arrange them together, and he invents an instrument like an organ that he plays with 2 hands. Then he adds foot pedals so that he can play with his 2 feet. And he get this hand doing one rhythm, this doing another, this doing another, and this doing another. See, that makes it complicated. And so when drummers get together and somebody starts out with a certain rhythm, and then that rhythm has holes in it. In other words, it has certain silences, and the next drummer fills those silences in an interesting way. He comes and picks out a pattern. And what do you imagine DNA is? The basic form of biological existence. Now, DNA is like a necklace with different kinds of beads in it. And according to the order and the way those beads are arranged, so you get genes, and so you get the particular form of life that emerges from those genes. So what we're doing way down is saying, she loves me, she don't, she'll have me, she won't, she would if she could, but she can't. She loves me, she don't, she'll have me, she won't, she would if she could, but she can't. She loves me, she don't, she'll have me, she won't, she would if she could, but she can't. She loves me, she don't, she'll have me, she won't, she would if she could, but she can't. But this is the way life is going on. She loves me, she don't, she'll have me, she won't, she would if she could, but she can't. She loves me, she don't, she'll have me, she won't, she would if she could, but she can't. She loves me, she don't, she'll have me, she won't, she would if she could, but she can't. But this is the way life is going on. Question is then, see, in your heart of hearts, you can take the attitude that all this is terrible, or that it's dreadfully serious. You see, you can play comedies, you can play tragedies, farces, histories and romances and all that kind of thing, and you can take these various attitudes to it. But if you are awakened, and as it were, you've been let into the secret, which is what we've been talking about, as the web is also the curtain, the veil which hides the face of God from the angels. See, there's always this veil. That's why we like to striptease. Because there's an implication that this, you should never give the show completely away. There always should be a little bit of a veil left, you see. There always is. There always is. Because even if you find the striptease artist gets completely naked, there's really something hidden. What's the motivation? What sort of a person is she? Would I really like to embrace her? Or would she have bad breath? You never really know. You never really get to the bottom. That's why everybody, all men, poets, say that women are basically mysterious. And they ought to be. So are men basically mysterious, from women's point of view. although they play that they're not. See, this is the way it goes. Men are supposed to be very open. And they say, well, of a certain situation, this is the way it is. After all, it's perfectly rational. It's a matter of practical affairs. And women say, well, they say, I'm not quite as articulate as you are, but I know there's something you've left out, but I can't explain it. And by this means, everything is kept going.
You love me, she don't. You love me, she won't. You will if you go, but she can't. You love me, she don't. You love me, she won't. You will if you go, but she can't. You love me, she don't. You love me, she won't. You will if you go, but she can't. But this is the way life is going on. You love me, she don't. You love me, she won't. You will if you go, but she can't. You love me, she don't. You love me, she won't. You will if you go, but she can't. You love me, she don't. You love me, she won't. You will if you go, but she can't. But this is the way life is going on.
As a result,
Yeah.
see?
Hey, happy birthday, becoming sentient. Happy birthday, baby. Hey. 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 Yeah, it is. That was She Loves Me. She Loves Me. And what's funny about that song, not about funny, but that song is very multi-layered, right? That song is kind of very what would the word be? It's kind of self-aware, you know what I mean? He's talking about music structure, and then the music structure kind of echoes how he's talking. It also does a lot of interesting stuff with rhythms and what have you. It incorporates a lot of different drum styles and drum programming styles and drum live playing styles mixed together. Robots versus humans all over the place. And then it has a vocoder on it. And I thought that was enough. And then right at the last minute, just before the album went to mastering, I quickly recorded a whole extra vocal harmony section over it. I thought we didn't need it. And then I was like, oh shit, there's all that extra melody I'm not using. I was like, how many melodies can I put in this one song? How many different melodies? There's like a ton. You know what I mean? And yeah, it came out dope. Came out dope, baby. Hey, 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 hey. Vin Fuego says this chat is something else. Milkman Dan says the intricately woven web of life. Beautiful, like a well-crafted DJ says. Ain't that right? Hey, it's happy birthday time for Becoming Sentient. We've got a lot of happy birthday wishes for Becoming Sentient in the chat. That's a beautiful thing. Happy birthday, Becoming Sentient. We've had a lot of birthdays here over these streams, and that's a wonderful thing. I feel very proud. There's so many people who would spend their most precious moments here with us, here on this stream. That is a wonderful thing. Yeah. Joshua Tran says best chorus off the album. Haha, that's crazy. Nice. Hell, why not, huh? Milkman Dan says layered melodies. Yeah, there's a whole bunch. That was it. That was the vibes. Layered many melodies. Many melodies. Many melodies. Greg the Alien says this chat makes me want to go to rehab. Hi. And you know, and on that bombshell, this song is called Listen Kids.
What I'm saying is, I think this. I'm trying to share with you a certain style of life and an attitude to life and an insight. I've taken you on one side and said, listen, kids, things aren't what they seem. Don't be fooled.
Yeah.
Listen, kids, things aren't what they seem. Don't be fooled. Listen, kids, things aren't what they seem. Don't be fooled. There's a big deception going on, and you're involved in it, but I just thought you ought to know. I'm terribly puzzled about the way people go out of their way to disenjoy themselves. It takes so much trouble about it. All around, you have only to look, and you see this perfect passion for making the world look grisly. And it isn't only job builders and garage owners who do this kind of thing. It's also people who profess to be painters. They're actually using excrements for painting in Paris today, on the theory that the world is shot to pieces, and that since the artist is a representative of his times, he ought to show the times as they really are, as a social critic. So he makes the most weird. He paints Campbell's soup cans. And he makes music that shrieks and screams. He just goes out of his way to make it sound as ugly as he possibly can manage.
Shots fired.
The ingenuity is about that is endless. Because that is the times. This is critical. You see? Listen, kids. Things aren't what they seem. Don't be fooled. Listen, kids. Things aren't what they seem. Don't be fooled. Listen, kids. Things aren't what they seem. Don't be fooled. There's a big deception going on. And you're involved in it, but I just thought you ought to know it.
Yeah. Listen, kids. Things ain't what they seem. Don't be fooled. And man, shots fired. Shots fired. At that Campbell soup can drawing blonde wig wearing ass mofo. That's so funny. Like so many people got put on blast by your boy Alan Watts. Yoko Ono. On blast. You know this song. I've been playing this song all month. You know, like a regular person, this would have been track number 1 or track number 2. You'd put this right at the front of the album. You'd be like, ooh, you know?
He's got clout.
But we ain't regular. We ain't regular over here, you know what I mean? We put this right at the end, track 19 of 20, right at the end. That's where it goes, man, because we're telling stories out here. We're delivering, we're delivering technology. This is a technology. This is regulating your whole damn mind, baby. This should change your life. If you listen to this record properly, this will change. This will be with you forever. This has rewired you to a degree. Yeah!
To spread joy, you have to have it. To impart delight, you have to be more or less delightful.
That's right, Gustavo.
And to be delightful is not some factor of...
That's right, Sheila.
To make yourself look delightful.
Come on.
To do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you.
You become thereby delightful to others.
It is to do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you.
You become thereby delightful to others. Hey.
That's to say, people who are interesting are people who are interested.
Facts.
Any person, for example, who is constantly thinking about all sorts of other things and other people and so on, because they're fascinating, becomes a fascinating person. But a person who doesn't think about anybody else and who's got very little going on inside their skull is boring. So, in other words, your engagement with the external world, the more you are involved, the more your personality is enriched. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you.
You become thereby delightful to others.
Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you.
You become thereby delightful to others. Hey.
But if you try to enrich your personality by taking a course in how to win friends and influence people, or how to be a real person, you'll become
Shots fired.
You'll be like somebody trying to get a good nutrition by biting his nails, and then the fingers next, you know, and then half an arm gone and so on. You're entirely nourishing yourself with yourself. Now, of course, on a vast scale, the universe does that. It eats itself up. That's why the symbol of the snake swallowing its tail is a very fundamental, archaic symbol of life.
Perfect.
The way it's done is that the snake has in some part of the ring a place where it's not sensitive. It's called the unconscious. Where it doesn't know that what comes to it in the form of food is actually what left it in the form of excrement. That thing is... Don't mention it. After all, as the Lord said at the beginning of the universe, you must draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, you must. Come on.
Do things that are delightful to you.
Yeah.
Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you.
You
become thereby delightful to others. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. You become thereby delightful to others.
Hey, come on, baby. What up, Al Mirabella? Says experienced something close to ego death in December, aided by Wattswave 4 and 2 tabs of acid. Left myself behind that night for the better. Cliche, but I needed it. Sure you did, baby. Yeah! Shouts out to Tracy Chapman, says, who am I? I love Tracy Chapman. Brian Scott says, my best friend and I had a psychedelic experience. Listen to this and have off and on this past month texted each other. Do things that are delightful to you. That's right, baby. Yeah, yeah. Bless you, Akira, for the beautiful album, and shouts out to the chat. You're the MVP, says, who am I? You the MVP, who am I? Sheila D613 says, I'm back home, and my mom and dads. I haven't been home in 3 months. I missed them so much. They're in bed, and I'm in the backyard blasting the stream with my brother. We live in the country. Shouts out to you, shouts out to the country, shouts out to your mom and dad, and shouts out to your brother, Sheila D613, in the place to be. We're very happy that you're here. Says, this song is so fitting for the moment. I'm feeling euphoric listening to this new album with all of you. So much love to all of you. What a time to be alive. Love to you from all of us. Yo, let's drop some wave emojis in the chat. We represent our love for one another. I am proud of this goddamn community. I'm very glad we're all here together. This has been a wonderful period of my life that I'll remember forever. If all my technology blows up tomorrow and I can never live stream again, I will treasure these times. Yes, I will. I'll remember them on my deathbed. These vibes regulate across space and time. Yes, they do. I always had this thing when I was DJing in the club, back in the days when there was a club. I wanted people to leave that club with the feeling that they would carry with them for all of their days. They might not know it, it might be a subconscious thing, but they carry it with them, or they might remember it. They might be there on their deathbed, be like, damn, that time in that club, that was just beautiful. We were all together. We all felt that thing together. It was just a moment. We all felt it together. I know we did. Those things are the most important things, baby. We will remember tonight for the rest of our lives. That's an Andrew WK song. Andrew WK is a guy, he's one of those guys who manages to put into music a feeling, a very specific feeling. He does it very well. It's something I've always aspired to do. It's always something I've admired. Something I've been trying to do for a long time, and I think we're getting there, baby. Yeah. Joshua Tran says it's more than a feeling. More than a feeling. More than a feeling. I love that song. Speaking of songs I love, this is the last song on the album. The last song of the album. Now, you know I like to make that last song like I was saying. I wanted to leave you with a feeling. Last song's always a magical thing, you know, and shit, this one really is. This one nailed all that. Godzilla in Australia says, do you ever sneak in meaning waving sets at the club? Yes, of course I do. Of course I do. Andrew Kamarami says, I love Andrew WK. Of course you do. Breeze Namar says, definitely. Yeah. Dave Redding says, all managers should use music in the workplace to get everyone working in the same rhythm. Speaking of rhythm. That's the name of this song, baby. This song is called A Rhythm Doing a Rhythm. This song was given to me by God himself. It was given to me by the gods themselves. And it was given to me by Alan Watts. So thank you, all of you guys who contributed to this, the closing moment of Wattswave 6, The Web of Life Part 2, Akira the Don and Alan Watts, the brand new album that came out today. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
And so, as a result of there always being a kind of gap, that's the gap, you know, like where the electric spark jumps. That's the thing behind your head, behind your eyes that you could never get to look at. It's the gap. And because of that little gap, The circle doesn't just revolve in a dull way, just go round and round and round like a boring thing. It has rhythm. See, if I say, no rhythm. See, it's just one long sound. After a while, we say, oh, cut it out. Or we just become insensitive to it. What we want to hear is the break in it, you see. And we want to hear it go on, off, and vanish, and come back again, and so on. And it sets up a rhythm. That becomes interesting. That's putting gaps between. See? You need those gaps. You need those gaps. See? You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. Rhythm doing a rhythm. Rhythm doing a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. And behind that was another rhythm doing a rhythm. So now you see it, now you don't. Now you see it, now you don't. Oh, that's pretty dull. So now you see it, now you don't. Now you see it, now you don't. Oh, that's pretty dull. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to have you see it 3 times, and then with a regular not see it between them. Then there's going to be a longer not see it after that one. And then I'm going to do something very complicated after that so that you don't really know when it's going to come next. So there's going to be a surprise. You know how we all do that? You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. Rhythm doing a rhythm. Rhythm doing a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. And behind that there's another rhythm doing a rhythm.
Yeah, yeah.
And interesting people are those who do this in very involved ways. Dull people, sort of people who put their hats on absolutely straight, are the kind of people, for example, who have the same meal every day. Exactly the same thing, always.
Shots fired.
See? They have no inventiveness. They have the same routine, they go to the same office, they answer the same kind of letters, and that's that. See? But then, if they want to start up a more interesting kind of business and make more money, they take the people who make clothes. They figure out fashion. It's going to be a new thing for ladies, a new style. We're going to make them do long skirts instead of the short skirts. Let's go like this. Then finally they thought about having topless women. They're going to play around with that and have an absolutely scandalous ball. But that's the whole thing, you see. It's this thing of rhythm. And yes, you ask, well, I see that. What is doing this rhythm? Who, after all, am I? And as you explore deeper and deeper and deeper into the nature of yourself, you find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. Rhythm doing a rhythm. Rhythm doing a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. You find that you're a rhythm doing a rhythm. And behind that was another rhythm doing a rhythm.
Yeah, yeah.
Your vibration.
And who is doing all this?
And who is doing all this? Why, he disappeared around the very one. We were looking for him and he vanished. And who is doing all this? And who is doing all this? Why, he disappeared around the very one. We were looking for him and he vanished.
Damn. Who's doing all this? Who's doing all this? Who's doing all this?
And then just when we weren't looking for him again, there he is.
Hey, hey.
But every time we try to see, he isn't there. Now do you see that?
Hey.
That situation
Is what you call.
is what's called life.
Yeah. Come over here. Yeah! Yeah! What's cracking, Hercules? Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
So now they see us. Hello.
So that was Wattswave 6, The Web of Life Part 2. The new album from Akira the Don and Alan Watts. Thank you, Alan Watts, for the incredible body of work you left us, for the incredible life you lived, for, whoever had that smart idea to, take a tape recorder and record all those lectures. Like, what an epic activity that was. What an epic activity. What an incredible body of work. It just echoes through space and time, and will keep doing so forever and ever and ever. Once this vinyl is pressed, that vinyl will be here forever. Like the those crazy sunspot activities, they won't smash that. That vinyl will exist. You could climb on me, yeah. Yeah. Whoa. Hercules has climbed on me. That Alan Watts' work will exist as long as there are ears to hear it, eyes to read it. I'm very grateful to play a small part in, the dissemination of that incredible work. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do it, Shouts out to Mark Watts, Alan's son, who's let me do this. Shouts out to you guys, without whom there would be nothing. Without whom there would be nothing at all. What's that, Herky? We're going to do the by five in a minute. Herky's very eager to play. What do you want to play, Herc? Minecraft Dungeons. Herc is very excited and eager to play Minecraft Dungeons. Yes, he is. Roberto Sanchez, thank you. Says, such a great stream. Such a great album. Such a great Wave Nation. Heck yeah. Macaulay Archangel says, long live MEANINGWAVE and its creator, Akira the Don. Hey, thank you. David Redding says, kids take messages from us into a future we will never see. That's true. Andrew Kamarami says, amazing job, Akira. Shouts out to you. Thank you. Matthew says, it's beautiful. I think of a guy with the solid state recorder slung over his shoulder, the mic sometimes scratching on clothing. Right? You know what I mean? Just amazing. Just amazing. Just amazing. Mikhail Archangel says, yes, we do need those gaps. R.I.P. Alan Watts. 1915, 1973. What a life! What a life, what a legacy, what a gift to humanity. We are grateful. We are incredibly grateful. We are honored to be a part of it. We're all a part of it. I am honored. I know you are. It's a beautiful flipping thing. Thank you to everyone who was supporting during that situation. Thank you, Andrew Clunas. Thank you, Kevin Gruber. Thank you, Martin Parser. Thank you, Snes St. Miniel. Thank you, Diaz Duenas. Thank you, Vin Fuego. Thank you, Greg the Alien. And thank you, Pixie. Thank you, everyone who's supporting the campaign. Wattswave, The Web of Life 2, coming on vinyl to a postbox near you. Can you believe that it is true? Because it is true. And that's a wonderful thing. Go back that. If you want to have this album exist forever, if you want to save this album from being destroyed by sunspot activity, then you should go back this album today, baby. Yes, you definitely should. You should go back this album today and make sure you get it. The campaign's closing on Wednesday. Campaign's closing on Wednesday, baby. After which it is done. Hey. What up, Andrew Kamarami? Good tithings to you. Thank you for the tithings. James Scunn's in the house. Says, sorry I'm late, boss. Don't worry, the sound was okay. If the sound had not been okay, we would have blamed you because you are the sound man. Anyway, it was a beautiful stream. And, thank you all for being here. It was Friday night, and it wasn't a disco. We listened to an album. We talked about it. You know, that's a lovely thing to be able to do. Tomorrow we'll be back with an ultra party because it's Saturday, and so we're just gonna have to go super hard, super hard. You know, Operation Let's Get Yeeted 2, something like that. You know, we'll see what the vibes are, what the vibes require, and I'll work out these visuals. You know, we're trying to upgrade. We're trying to just like incremental improvements in 2020. You dig? You dig? DS Duenas says best community or what, mate? Yeah, right. Exactly. Completely. We are streaming in the mornings now over on Twitch. You can come and hang out with us over on Twitch. We do the MEANINGWAVE morning show on Twitch from 7 a.m. PST. It's joyful. It's very, very fun and cool over there. And, you know, they don't seem to have as many restrictions. You know what I mean? And they have raids. And they have a hype train. And the hype train's mad fun, you know? So come chill with us over on the MEANINGWAVE morning show on Twitch from 7 a.m. PST every day. You know, we're keeping it here. We're sticking here. We're staying here for now at 6 p.m. PST of the evenings. Yeah, baby, and that's it, man. Breaking them algorithms, DS2NS, that's right. Milkman Dan says, woot, woot. Dan Frank says, space stream launch go. Yeah, if they're doing that launch tomorrow, we'll see. I don't know if they've built, you know, I don't know if that space DLC is ready yet. You know, I don't know. I don't know if the space DLC is ready yet, baby. We'll see. I mean, I'll be here. I'll definitely be here, and I would love to see it happen. And I would love to soundtrack it, and I'd love us all to hang out together in that occur. So, you know. Anyway, man, it's a beautiful day to be alive, and I'm glad to have shared it with you. I'm really happy that the album's out. You can go and enjoy it now. You can go back it up, pull it up, listen to it as many times as you like. We can look forward to creating the vinyl experience and that happening, you know, and we can look forward to just beautiful new albums coming in the future. Hurrah! 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 Godzilla in Australia. Thank you for the stream and the album, Akira. Blessings to all of you and your families. That's right. Blessings to all of you and your families. And come on, Hercules. Come on, Hercules. It's time. It's time. And, you know, it's time. It's time we did a little prayer. It's time we did a little prayer. Where's my window? Where's the right window? Here it is. No, it isn't. Where's the right window? Here you go. All right, this one will work. Hello, Hercules. Do you want to say a little prayer? Come back. All right, we will use by 5 times. Hercules ran off. Yo, yeah. Well, I would like to, you know, shouts out the ancestors. Wait, we're doing a prayer first. You cheeky monkey. Hercules. They can't see you anyway. That's Hercules. You just got eated by Hercules. Eated then yeeted. Get ready, young Herky, for the by 5 at the right time. I'm going to say a little prayer. Wave, Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy wave. Splash, splash. Thank you for all these gifts. Thank you for the gift of Alan Watts. Thank you for sending Alan Watts to Earth to do that wonderful stuff that he did, that he keeps doing, that is unfolding across space and time in that wiggly, wiggly way. You know, we don't even know the repercussions of that action. We're just involved in the unfolding of that action, you know. So thank you for that. And, you know, thank you for everything that you've bestowed on us. And I pray that the people who need emotional regulation at this point in time get it. Because it's a real thing that you cannot control the world, but you can control how you react to that world. You can watch those thoughts come in and float out again. And you can feel those emotions come in and go away again. And you can hang on to the ones that are useful. And you can use them because they're powerful. But I pray that my brothers and sisters do not allow themselves to be emotionally hijacked, and that power be taken from them and used for others. You know, because there is others who like to take that, who know how powerful those vibes are, and they like to regulate them in their own areas, in their own ways, and for their own ends. You know, and I pray that they have the strength to regulate those vibes accordingly and not allow themselves to be hijacked and vampired off of by swine. You know, I pray for that, and I think we'll get it. I think we're gonna be cool, baby. You know. And thank you guys all for being here and for just being such bad mofos, and for being just such a gang of awesome Fonzies out there in the world, keeping things groovy, and being a part of what's good about the world. You know, and there's so much that's good about the world, and there's so much that's good about people. You know, as we know, most people are good, the vast majority. That's true. I believe that in every fiber in my being, baby. And I believe in you. And I believe in your power to make a big difference in the world. So go forth and be mighty. Amen. You ready, Herky? Hang on, wrong camera. Let me put it back to the right camera. Here he is. You didn't say the words. You got to say the words. The people won't know what's going on. They'll be so confused. You have to say it. You got to say it. You got to give them their countdown. They'll be really confused.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bye, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet dreams and made of these.